we are live.
Yay!
Yay!
So now you just have to promo it.
Alright, yeah. It is promo time. Yeah, people can only see the thumbnail. Yes, it is time. Pride Month in September.
Yeah.
No. It's gay. What's the month? What Deadly Sin is the month? Because July is Wrath Month. I say August is Sloth Month. August is a very sloth energy month.
I don't know.
October is Lust Month. It's for the monster fuckers. Yes. I've already claimed October is Lust Month.
Okay, that's fair. God, I wish I had something to prop my back up better.
November's Gluttony Month.
Yeah,
November has to be Gluttony Month.
I don't know.
What are the other deadly sins? I only just watched Full Metal Alchemist. I should remember this.
Fucking... Avarice?
That's not a...
Greed isn't...
Avarice is
same
greed.
thing, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, September's Gay Greed Month because I want y'all to give me the money.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna grab this link here.
Oh wow, the stream delay is so little.
Yeah, because you put it on ultra low latency.
I am impressed. Can you send me the stream link because you have it?
No, it's opening the mobile link.
Oh.
So if you could just grab it and send it to me, that would be cool.
Envy. Gay Envy Month. I envy the people who are going back to school because they have something to do with their lives, and I'm sad and have a job I hate. You're forgetting Pride. You forgot Pride Month, dude. How do you forget the 1 month that's actually official?
The only one that's actually official. Okay, this donut is not actually helping in this.
Oh, the donut's not working? Okay.
No, it's for when you're sitting up on a less comfortable surface.
The Progeny. Oh wait, I already have a window open for the Progeny. For chapter 7 specifically. I was going to YouTube so I could promo the link in all of the servers. I don't know what video that is, and I don't know if I want to. Oh, here I am. Oh, there's a new Adam Garcia. I'll be watching that at work on... No, I'll probably watch that before No advertisement. You're not going to make noise right now. Yeah, everybody, listen to the ad. When's Gay Lust Month? That is, that's October.
That was October.
It's for the monster fuckers.
The problem is there's not as many deadly sins as there are months, so... That is the key problem with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, there's no way to get
December that we can all be sluts for Christmas? No, we are not being sluts for Christmas because Christmas is dumb. We are Jewish in this household. Actually, Jonaya is not Jewish, but she's also not a fan of Christmas.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Piss Corp. Time to send this to Piss Corp. Also, thank you all for showing up. I'm just sticking the stream link in a couple of places so you all can get excited and join me for some Progeny fun.
I should have a recording booth that was big enough for both of us to stand up in it, so we could just use the recording booth for this.
I don't want to stand for an hour and a half.
Okay, that's fair.
Do you?
At this point, it's standing for an hour and a half would be better than sitting for an hour and a half. But I'm reclining.
Alright, I've sent it to 3 places. I don't know if there's anywhere else that wants it to be sent to.
I mean, I could drop it a couple places, but, like, honestly, probably not gonna get many people from there.
Ari asks, how's recovery going?
Well, really well, actually. Yeah, things are healing up really nicely. I haven't had any issues. I'm still, like, swollen and sore, but since it's only been, like, a week and a half, that's pretty understandable. But, yeah, no, doing good overall.
Also, Logan Anderson says, this list of possible sins is incomplete. You can help by expanding it.
Yeah, we need at least 12 deadly sins.
Yeah,
Come on, Catholic Church. You really dropped the ball on that one. You guys have, like, so many sins. So many sins.
I should, like, call up Chrissy and be like, hey, what are 5 extra sins?
Yeah.
What are 5 extra sins that we can make gay?
You, Catholic, declare extra sins.
Gay abortion.
Well, the thing is, like, all that they take that as, like, they're broad categories for sins. So, like, homosexuality would be classed under lust, that kind of thing. That's the problem.
Make them update the deadly sins like it's the Geneva Convention.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, where did my phone go so I can monitor the chat?
I don't have any
idea.
idea.
Did I throw her in a corner?
You might have.
Oh no, my poor phone.
I don't know where your phone is.
I might have left it in my... can you monitor? Well, you're going to be...
No, I can't.
Okay, well, I'm going to position the screen so it's poking out of the side so people can remember to not unbox sanitary pads preemptively to make sure there's no contamination.
What? What is it?
Apparently, some people who have bottom surgery will open their pads preemptively so they don't have to do it.
Oh.
But it will cause contamination. That makes a lot of sense.
Huh, yeah. I just open them when I'm going to put them on, so. Well, I haven't been too bad lately. I've been, like, just spotting at this point. It's mostly healing up.
How do I guess I can just make it smaller.
You can't just make the window smaller?
Right.
Yeah,
I always forget that's a thing you can do. Listen, I'm dumb and I never resize my windows.
I think we can get through the rest of the project.
I think we can, and I think it'll be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Alright. Boop. Commit something that isn't covered by the general 7 categories, but is still something they can't vibe with.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Abortion. Abortion is the 8th deadly sin.
The 8th deadly sin. Bad vibes.
All right. Shall we?
Yeah, let's start. You're gonna narrate this chapter, I assume.
Yeah.
We can, like, switch off every...
Yeah, let's alternate, because...
Yeah, let's do every other chapter.
Deadly sin, baby, and... just throw the baby out with the bath water, and it can be just me. And... I wrote a song about why a couple should abort a baby. It's funny. Incoming transmission from MA Secure Network. Listless Advocate has created the group Free John Jett. Perpetual Professional has joined the conversation. Better Call Gorgor has joined the conversation. Snakebites has joined the conversation.
Alright, what have we got here? What's the news on Daria? Also, who's BG? Do we trust him?
Tagore knows the most about Daria's situation, so we kinda have no choice. Also, he's in too deep right now to back down. Welcome to the revolution, Sorgor.
I never asked for this. What's stopping me from turning you in and taking the reward money for myself?
You wouldn't do that to us, would you? Besides, you love this little carcat too much to do that.
I guess you've convinced me. Okay. Reassurance aside, what's the news on Daria? Is she alright?
She's locked in an Imperial prison. Do you think she's alright?
I mean, is she drastically wounded? She's missing half her hand and has been repeatedly beaten by the clowns, but she's still capable, if that's what you're asking. Dude.
That should be good.
Oh, okay.
Dude.
Good. No. I thought it was dude, just like spelled weird. Good. Now, what's the status on her trial?
Honestly, Malik would be like, dude.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I thought it was... It won't be for a good while. These things take time and careful planning. And if the committee votes on my ideas, which they will, it'll take even more time.
Why are you so sure they'll vote for yours? Not that they aren't good, I just don't know if we should depend on that.
Because Daria isn't only being charged for dissidence. She's got charges for high treason against the Empire and grand heresy as well. Jade blood crimes are rare, but they're taken extremely seriously. They're going to expect her trial to be absolutely over-the-top grandiose. And nobody is more grandiose than me.
Okay, now that you're done stroking your own bulge, what should we do before the trial date hits? Any ideas? Don't look at me. I'm just here so I can stay up to speed.
There's no way to break her out and hide her in her room, is there?
God, I wish. The second they notice a prisoner missing, they're gonna do a full-scale sweep of the place. We can't risk them finding Karkat because of that.
What's the absolute longest that her trial can be postponed? A sweep and a half. Maybe 2 sweeps at most? Oh, I doubt they're gonna kill her before it, but they won't keep her there forever. You're not gonna like this, Tisius, but we might have to put Operation Endgame into play soon if we want to make it. If we want her to make it.
Your Malik voice sounds like a Simpsons character.
Yeah! A specific one, or just, like, in general?
I'm trying to pinpoint who he sounds like. Chat, what Simpsons character does Jonaya's Malik voice sound like? Your name is Tisius Entik, and it looks like your carefully planned revolution is going to have to come a few sweeps earlier than you originally thought. You've been working towards a successful rebellion for sweeps now, and there's been a few plans for revolution in your back pocket. But the one you, Malik, and a handful of others settled on before your ascension was Operation Endgame. There's a lot of mythology out there surrounding the predicted end of the Alternian Empire. And even though most people chalk it up to superstition, you always looked into it as a possible way out, especially since it coincided with the predicted birth of the Progeny. When Karkat was successfully discovered, that solidified this plan as the way to free the Troll race. You've been secretly making plans to flee the ICO since the second you were enlisted. Stelsa doesn't even know about how extensively you study the plans of the ship looking for the safest way out. If you could break Daria out of jail tomorrow and take her and everyone else to freedom, you'd do it immediately. It's too soon, though.
I think I know the character. I think you're thinking of, it's the Troy McClure. Hi, my name is Troy McClure. And you might remember me from such revolutionary plots as...
Oh my god.
Like, it's not exactly the same, but it's, like, in the same neighborhood.
T-Man, it's not Mo. Malik does not sound like Mo. Ari says, the guy with the orange flower-like spike hair? Who?
Who?
Orange flower-like spike hair? What?
I don't know.
I don't think it's quite Troy McClure, though. It's pretty close.
It's similar,
pretty close.
But...
Might be someone who shared a voice actor with Troy McClure, because they all have the same VAs.
Yeah, that was Full Heart, man. He did a ton of characters for that show. He did a lot of, like, bit characters. Alright.
Where were we? It's not possible. The timelines don't line up, and Karkat isn't ready yet. Karkat isn't ready for what?
You haven't told Stelsa yet?
No, I haven't told her yet. It's not the right time. What haven't you been telling me, Zizi? Stelsa drops her phone and looks at you. The two of you and Tagore have been sitting around the culinary block table, viciously typing into Malik's secure chat, while Karkat lies on the lounge plank with his laptop, messaging his new friend. Zizi, what haven't you been telling me? You sigh and drop your phone. Guess it's time. Stels, did you ever read that mythology stuff I gave you a few pages ago? I only had time to skim it. It was something about the end of the universe? Yeah, something along those lines. You try to think of the best way to word this. Do you remember how one of the centering figures in that mythology is a small, angry, red-blooded boy? Again, I didn't really read it, she replies. I'm assuming this is the Signless? What does this have to do with whatever Malik is talking about? You shake your head. Not the Signless. Karkat. Karkat is prophesied to bring forth the end of the universe, and we're going with him. Stelsa's breath catches a bit. That's just a myth, though. Silly fairy tales. Also, hold on a minute. What do you mean going with him? Sideshow... I don't think it's Sideshow Bob.
No,
it's not Sideshow
Kelsey
Bob.
Grammer.
It's definitely not. Honestly, Sideshow Bob is like if Tagore was deeper.
Yeah, that's... Yeah, like, the closest voice I have to Sideshow Bob is, like... Actually, Scratch.
Yeah.
Scratch is the closest to Sideshow Bob.
A flower? Like, I guess that is how you describe such
yeah, like, it's different. I mean, I cannot sound like Kelsey Grammer. But, yeah, no, not that.
She's starting to raise her voice, more so than usual. You can tell she's not going to like this. Once Karkat reaches about 6 sweeps, we're going to take him off this ship and go to Alternia to help him cause the end of our universe. I thought this was all a myth too, until we actually saw Karkat emerge at the predicted time. This is all real, and it's going to happen one way or another. Outing myself as a non-Simpsons watcher.
Yeah, I haven't watched The Simpsons in, like,
it's
years.
Been like a decade.
I watched it when it started. Like, I watched the first episode when it aired. But also, like...
Right, you were alive when it aired.
Yeah, I was 89. I watched it when I was a little kid. And, like, I really liked The Simpsons for a long time, but then I just stopped watching it, because, like...
In, like, the early mid-2000s, I watched it, like, every single day when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. Like...
I used to watch it absolutely, like, every single episode, like, religiously. We would tape it.
But then they started getting
that's
bad.
Very old.
Oh, my family had taped episodes of The Simpsons. Yeah.
But, like, it just, like, after a while, it's like, okay, I've seen, like, 300 of these. I'm good.
Well, there was I saw a YouTube video. It was either a YouTube video or a YouTube comment, or maybe something Jojo said, talking about how, like, the reason new Simpsons are so wrong is because the show was designed to be about boomer parents taking care of millennial kids.
Yeah.
But now, now Homer's a millennial and Bart is Gen Alpha?
Right, like, it doesn't make sense, because it feels increasingly anachronistic for, like, how they act. And, like, yeah, it made a lot more sense in, like, the 90s.
Also, Julie Kavner's voice has become destroyed, and she needs to fucking retire.
Yeah,
like,
they will not let them die.
Like, I'm pretty sure the royalties from that show will keep that woman afloat forever. She doesn't need to do this anymore. Yeah. Her voice needs to rest. Where were we? Sorry for the Simpsons rant.
I think we're in Stelz's skin turns ashen as a ghost.
Right. Stelz's skin turns ashen as a ghost. No, she blurts out. I'm not doing that. Why didn't you tell me this before? I never would have agreed to take care of him if I knew we'd be destroying our lives. Our lives are going to be destroyed anyway. We might as well just try to do some good on the way out. I've worked too long and too hard to get where I am today. We're supposed to be living comfortable, peaceful lives together up here. Why can't you just be grateful that we're all here together without trying to destroy everything for the greater good for once? Oh, burp. Come on. Just stop being weird. You're starting to get irritated. You love Stelsa with all your heart, but sometimes she's like talking to a brick wall. You don't get it. No, that's Tisius. You don't get what I'm saying, do you? You ask. If we stay up here, we're going to die. The universe is scheduled to expire in a little over 5 sweeps. Something is going to trigger that giant tentacle monster the Condus keeps, and we're all going to perish. This is our ticket out. This is crazy. You're crazy. Stelsa's in hysterics now. These conspiracy theories are driving me crazy. They're not... Where are you going? Stelsa's left the table and is reaching for her running shoes. Out! She yells, bolting out the door and slamming it shut. You want to go after her, but collapse back into your seat in defeat.
She'll be back. I'll work her through it.
Tagore is still typing away across from you.
While you two were bickering away over there, I just made myself a potential new associate.
You take a look at your phone. It looks like while you were away, Tagore had been doing his slimy Gorgor act and was on the verge of convincing Malik into a one-sided business partnership.
Malik is actually a pretty alright guy. A bit of a sucker, but alright. Did you know he's the kid that gave Gal's first tattoo?
You give Tagore a look, sensing an ounce of admiration in his voice. I thought you hated that tattoo. You wouldn't shut the fuck up about it when you got it.
That was before we That was before we vacillated.
Tagore says.
I mean, I still hate it, but it's kind of cute. I miss that dork so much.
You're lucky your post-ascension turned out the way it did. You're so incredibly lucky you weren't forcibly separated from your mate spirit like Tagore was. Why can't you just be happy with the near-perfect hand you were dealt? As you ruminate, you feel a tiny hand tug on your sleeve. Karkat's looking up at you, holding his laptop.
Mama Tiz, Razzie keeps telling me to talk to this person. Can I?
Karkat points to his screen, showing you a pester handle. You nod and pick up your phone, scrolling past Tagore's obscene display of capitalism. Hey, Malak, can you check a pester handle for me? Carcat wants to make a new friend.
Sure thing. Send it over.
Grim Auxiliatrix.
Looks like she's a Jadeblood who lives outside the caverns. Interesting. Oh, whoa. You're gonna want to see this.
Snakebite sends a photo. Kanaya Mariam profile. You nearly fall out of your seat. You're greeted by a bright jade symbol, possibly the second most recognizable symbol in your rebellion. That shape, accompanied with that name, Mariam, sends you reeling. You turn to Carcat and grab his free hand. Carcat? You say, staring into his confused eyes. Whatever you do, you need to befriend this girl. Whatever you did to become so close with your other friend, do it to her. Carcat gives you a grin and runs eagerly back to the couch. You start muttering to yourself. Maybe if it's safe, I could meet her too. No, that's ridiculous. She probably doesn't even know about her ancestor. There's no way she'd know who the Dolorosa was beyond being a famous heretic. Tagora's staring at you, amused.
I've never seen you act like such a fangirl, Entic.
He chuckles.
You sound like Calber over there, going off about your waifu, the Dolorosa.
Shut the fuck up, Sorgor. You turn to him. You know this shit is actually important. I'm allowed to get fucking excited for once.
Who says you can't be an obnoxious fan of real and important figures?
Tagora gets up from the table and saunters up to you.
You're just like little Tyrona, fawning over her precious honorable tyranny.
You scoff at him. You're one to talk, mister. I worship the almighty Kager. You're the filthiest fucking capitalist I've ever met. Tagora gasps.
I am a serious businessman. At least my work is productive.
You right up in each other's faces. Call my revolution unproductive one more time.
Nobody cares that you're play-acting the signless, Tetrarch Entic. I'm almost glad I joined your little rebellion so I can watch you be torn to pieces from the front lines.
You grab him by the turtle of his collar. The collar of his turtleneck, pulling him up to your level. He gives you an enormous sharp grin and licks his immaculately glossed lips. Before you know it, you're on top of him. You don't know what came over you, but suddenly all you want to do is tear his face apart with your teeth and sink your claws into his shoulder blades. You have a lot of pent-up anger inside of you, and it's all spilling out into the mouth of Tagora Gorjak. Your name is Carcat Entic Seziat, and you were so confused. You know nothing about romance. Your moms haven't read you any love stories or anything like that, but watching one of them violently kiss your Uncle Gorgor after a loud argument is enrapturing. You may know nothing about romance, but you want to learn everything now. God, speaking of reeling, the comment in the last chapter about Tagora parenting Kanaya? Yes. Yes. Have you read the antecedent and the lineage? The two of them are really close, and I had to put something in there that made it so they were close. And honestly, they would be besties. They would paint their nails together and complain about their various Entic Seziats they have to deal with.
Also, like, if you've read the antecedent, you know that that's a very, like, girl boss interpretation of Kanaya.
I love how we have no stream delay. Like, that's insane.
Yeah, that's what the normal delay is ridiculous. The normal latency.
Alright, time for you to take over.
Your name is Tagora Gorjak, and you are very busy. As a junior legislator and key member of the ICO Showmanship Committee, your days are packed with paperwork, presentations, and generally presenting as the most outgoing and intelligent member of your team. It is exhausting. At the end of each night, you want nothing more than to run a hot bath, maybe call your mates or vent to your moirail a bit, and get a good night's sleep. I will sit up because I cannot talk like this.
It just occurs to me that I never saved Gallic.
Yeah, Gallic is dead.
Yeah, Tagora just sort of had to deal with him dying.
Yeah.
And that never gets addressed in either of our fics.
Nope, it doesn't.
Poor Tagora.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the antecedent takes place, like, decades later. It's like 20 years after they get there or whatever.
Yeah, but, yeah. In the 5-year gap in the last chapter, nothing happens where Tagora like breaks. Oh, I feel so bad. We killed Gallic and we didn't have Tagora process it. He died in the vast glove.
Yeah.
Either that or maybe he just died. He could have
Yeah,
just
there's
died.
a lot of ways that he could have died.
I mean, hell, he works for the fucking CIA. They could have turned on his ass and shot him.
Tonight, all you can think about as you walk down the hallway to your apartment block is that hot ablution trap filled with your favorite essential oils.
Oh wait, he learns about him being shot on the landing? Was there? Did you?
What?
I thought Tagiri's the one who gets... Are you thinking about Tagiri getting shot?
I don't remember. I wrote that a while ago.
We'll find out when we get to the antecedent.
I forgot details of my own work.
I forgot details of the work written to get me in to fall in love with Jonaya.
Maybe. Where was I? Oh, yeah. But your plans are stopped once you open
No. Elward shoots Gallic in Delightful Abattoir.
Yeah, that's different.
Different universe.
Yeah, they're completely different, like, interpretations. Because Delightful Abattoir is a universe where, like, things are very different. Like, none of the Homestuck... Well, the Homestuck stuff does happen, but in a very different way, so... That's, like, everyone goes through Ascension, and, like, things continue without Mispar being there.
Honestly, it's kind of hard to split the Abattoir universe and the Progeny universe apart sometimes because we sort of mash them all up.
Yeah, we kind of, like, borrowed from both of them, and then, yeah, Friendsum 2 just, like, combines them all together.
Because, I mean, the Justitia is from Abattoir, but the Showmasters are from Progeny.
Yeah. There's little bits and pieces of each of them. Different characters have characterization that resembles, like, different works. Whatever. It's all good. If you did like Delightful Abattoir, I'm very happy. I'm really happy with how that came out.
She wouldn't have written that if I didn't get her hooked on Friendsum.
Yeah, no, that's... Reading the Progeny got me, and talking to Anna got me into all of this stuff. Where was I? Oh, yeah.
Tonight, all you can think.
But your plans are stopped once you open the door. Your Moirail is laying on your couch, in the same place you left her when you went to work hours ago. Ever since the argument Salsa had with Tizius last night, she's been hiding in your apartment block. You're not quite sure what to do with that about this. You're not used to being the receiving end of this relatively new Moira allegiance. You're still here, you ask.
I can't go back yet, not until I've calmed down a little at least.
Stelsa won't meet your eyes. I'm surprised you're back from the office before me. Don't you have a run to go on or something?
I did my run.
She tenters up.
Twice. Thought I might blow off some of this.
You sit down beside Stelsa and grab her hand. You always calm down really quickly when she rubs circles in the spaces between your thumb and forefinger. You're hoping it'll do the same for her. Instead, she snatches her hand away and turns her back to you. Stelsa, there's no point in you being here if you won't let me do my thing. Give me your hand.
It feels patronizing when you do it.
Then at least talk to me, please. Stelsa inhales sharply and flexes her claws.
I just don't know why she thinks she can do this kind of thing to me. First she begs me to help her raise a grub, brings me into a highly illegal ring of revolutionaries. Now she's suddenly telling me we have to break our enlistment and flee the ship or else we're going to die in a few sweeps. She's just making this up to mess with me at this point.
You put your hand on her shoulder, but she shrugs you off again. You get up to make a pot of coffee. If she won't open up to you physically, maybe a hot drink will help. God knows you need one right now.
I just don't understand her.
Stelsa's got her head in her hands, voice projecting from across the block.
Tizius spent so many sweeps working so hard to get to this point. We studied all day long for peerages before our exams. I just don't know why she isn't happy with the successful life she earned.
Are you happy? You ask. I mean, I'm grateful for the position I have, and I don't hate the work I do, but I had a lot more fun swindling cash out of injured lowbloods on Alternia. It makes sense that she's not happy.
Of course I'm happy.
Stelsa glares at you, scandalized.
How could I not be? I have the perfect job. I'm stationed with the people I love. We're all safe and happy and perfect.
She pauses for a moment.
Right? I mean, obviously we have to make sacrifices in adulthood. Nothing will ever be as fun as being on Alternia, but that's okay. We're all safe. That's all that matters.
You sit back down next to her and hand her a mug of coffee. You offer her your small ornate cream pitcher, but she just takes the mug and starts sucking it down. I think the two of you just have completely different priorities, you reply. When was the last time you two sat down and talked about all this? She looks into her now empty mug.
I can't. It hurts too much.
But she has no idea how much she's hurting you. Maybe you should... Your palmas buzzes in your pocket. A video call from Tizius. Stelsa hasn't noticed yet, so you walk over to the culinary block to answer it. Well, if it isn't the all-powerful Tetrarch. You smirk into the gripe window. Yes, you've been trying to work out Stelsa's problems with Tizius, but that doesn't erase what happened between you and Tizius yesterday. You might be trying to help Stelsa understand Tizius's perspective, but you sure as hell don't get it either, and it pisses you off in the best way possible.
Not now, Sorgor.
She bites back.
I need your help. Have you seen Stelsa? She never came home after you left. I'm getting worried.
Calm your half-sacks. She's right here.
I had to do an alternative version of Calm Your Tits.
You point the camera at Stelsa on the lounge plank. She's become visibly more irritated.
Oh, thank God. Can I talk to her?
You look over to Stelsa, hoping she'll give a response.
I'm not ready yet.
She grumbles. You shake your head at Tizius.
Well, if she won't talk to me, then can she at least talk to Karkat? He misses her.
Stelsa seems to visibly perk up at the mention of Karkat. You hand Tizius the phone. You tell Tizius to hand the phone to him.
Mama Stills!
The phone vibrates with his squeak. You swear you can hear his voice through the walls.
Where did you go? I was scared you got eaten by a drone.
Eaten by a...
Stelsa chuckles.
Tisius needs to stop telling you these stories before bed. There are no drones on this ship, and drones don't eat trolls in the first place.
The two of them talk for a while, and Stelsa begins to genuinely smile for the first time all evening. Despite everything, she really does care for that kid.
Mama Stills, I made a new friend today. Her name is Jonaya, and she talks really pretty.
Karkat starts rambling on.
Tomorrow, she's gonna show me her friend Vriska. Terezi says Vriska is a bitch, but I can't wait.
Karkat, no!
Stelsa scolds.
I told you, words like that are hurtful.
But that's what Terezi said.
He pouts.
I was gonna meet her today, but she was busy with her Christmas.
Stelsa quirks an eyebrow at the camera.
Do you mean Kismesis?
She asks.
Yeah, it's like when two trolls hate each other, but it makes them want to kiss.
You catch Karkat bouncing up and down out of the corner of your eye.
These are trolls your age, right? Isn't this Vriska a little young to have a Kismesis?
I don't know. I just think it's cool. It's like what Mama Tiz does with Uncle Gorgar.
Your heart drops to your feet. Stelsa outed by her own child. Stelsa freezes, her calm demeanor shattering.
What does Mama Tiz do with Uncle Gorgor?
Yesterday they started yelling so much it made them kiss. It's kind of weird.
Stelsa sharply inhales, putting the most force grin on the force grin you've ever seen.
Oh, look at the time. Mama Stels has to go now. She
crows.
Don't give Tizius too much trouble at bedtime. I love you.
She shuts the call off as soon as she can, turns to you and pelts the phone in your direction, narrowly missing your horn and shattering one of the decorative tiles behind your sink.
You kissed my mate, Sprit?
Stelsa is staring directly at you, pupils narrowed like a purbeast. You stumble back a step, nearly tripping over the edge of a rug.
You kissed my goddamn mate, Sprit, and here I was thinking you were the only person I could trust anymore.
She's flexing her claws up and down, trying desperately to hold something back. You've never seen a troll go full-on feral before? It's not particularly common for teals, but it isn't unheard of. It's an instinct that lies underneath every single one of you, and Stelsa is clearly trying to keep it in.
That's a piece of lore that I added and then forgot I added and never revisited. Trolls can go feral when they get too angry.
It's okay, Stelsa. You keep backing up, bumping into the coffee table. It's a bitch thing, just like Karkat said. Neither of us were cheating on you.
I don't care if it's pitch. It's not okay. Nothing is okay. I don't know what to expect of anything anymore.
Each word she says makes your hair bristle on end a little more. That's the one thing that's not in this, that's in Delightful Laboratory, is that that Stelsa and Tizius vacillate, pitch, and flushed.
They don't do it successfully, though.
Not really.
They try. They, actively try, but they don't do it successfully. Also, hello, mi book de Charlet. Thank you for showing up. Isn't that everyone? What are you referencing?
The vacillating? Maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, yeah. I feel like, yeah, you have them vacillate, but they're very flushed throughout the entire thing. They're not really pitched. They just think it might be cool to be pitched.
Yeah. It's like a kink. It's like a pitch kink.
Yeah, everyone can go feral.
Just calm down. We can work this out. Remember, we need to talk if we want to work through this stuff.
Wait, so not only does Stelsa have a DMV kink, but she also has a pitch kink?
Your voice is starting to wobble a bit. Stelsa freezes in place, gaze sharpening even further.
Don't patronize me.
Before you can take a breath yourself, she stormed out of the door, leaving you slightly disheveled in her wake. You take a moment to collect yourself and make your way over to the main epicenter of Stelsa's destruction. Your palm husk lies right next to the sink, surrounded by shattered porcelain. The corner that made the impact is covered in a spiderweb of cracks, but otherwise it works fine. You pick it up to find a barrage of messages from Tizius.
Wow, that was pretty abrupt. Can't believe it only took that long for her to get sick of him. Holy shit, what the fuck is happening over there? I heard something shatter. Are you okay? Please tell me you guys are okay.
So, our little fling yesterday might have just cost me my morale. Thanks a lot.
Oh, fuck.
Also, you're paying for my new phone.
What happened?
Carcat told her about last night, and she practically went full-on feral. I've never seen her like that before. I don't know where she went, but she stormed off.
Should we go to look for her? Who knows what the ICO could do if they find she's been breaking shit.
She needs some space. I don't think she's gonna want to see either of us for a long time.
Oh, wait, yeah.
Your name is Stelsa Cesar, and you've never been so angry in your life. You've spent every waking hour trying to be grateful for what you have. Even when things have looked Even when things have looked tough, you've tried to focus on the good and sweep the bad under the rug. The rug isn't big enough this time, though, and neither is the supply closet you're currently hiding in. You need a plan to get back at your quadrant mates. You whip out your palm husk.
By the way, this is where the sad closet comes from.
Yeah!
Wait, that's not the sad closet song, huh? Malik, shut off all the cameras between supply closet 3 and Daria's cell.
Whoa, what? What is going on? Is Daria in danger?
Just do it. I need to talk to her.
I usually only shut off cameras for Tizias. Is she okay? Well, why are you asking me to do this instead of her?
She's fine. I need to talk to Daria alone, and if you tell Tizias about this, you won't want to know what's coming for you. I need to talk to Daria alone, and if you tell Tizias...
Oh, that's a typo. Huh.
I doubled it.
Holy shit, no. I'm not shutting off the system for you if you threaten me. I knew we never should have let a former loyalist in.
Wait, no. I'm sorry. I've had a rough couple days. I'm just a little angry. Please let me talk to Daria. She's the only one who might be able to alleviate the anger.
Fine. But please, in the future, no threats. I know you're used to that shit in your law world, but we can't do that here. We get enough threats from the government. We need to be able to trust each other entirely. I'll give you the go when the cameras are off. You dig around the closet for something to cover yourself with, settling in one of the black drapes they use for more theatrical trials. Malik sends you the signal, and you take a breath. Tizias kissed your Moirail and stole him from you. You're going to do the same to hers.
The hand-rubbing thing is just the adult troll version of the grub sauce spot neck trick.
Fucking genius plan, Stelsa. Just A+ all around.
I'm going to kiss your Moirail.
No notes.
I mean, honestly, Daria and Stelsa could try being pitched.
They could try being pitched.
Especially since Lunera doesn't survive Suburb.
Right, yeah.
Your name is Stelsa Ceziat, and you are out for revenge. You're sneaking through the corridors of the largest prison in the Alternian Empire, wrapped in a black drape you found in the supply closet, looking for Daria Jonjet. You have no clue where her cell is, and honestly, you only met her a few times before, so you're not quite sure you'd be able to identify her in the first place. Nonetheless, you continue to trudge forward. You eventually stumble across a cell holding a girl with torn sleeves, slumped over and scratching some pattern into dirt on the floor. No, and Lunera will die in the Suburb session,
yeah,
so,
she is, like...
It fucks Branya up.
Yeah, she's, like, basically killed off camera between the Progeny and the Antecedent, because there's a huge time skip between the Progeny and the Antecedent, like over 20 years, so... Right? Yeah, it's like over 20 years.
Yeah, because they're in their 40s.
Yeah, because
They've become MILF.
But so, like, yeah, Lunera doesn't survive the session. Like, a bunch of people don't survive either the session or, like, the rebellion shit leading up to it.
Daria Jonjet, you whisper through the bars. Daria turns to you, confused. What, Stelsa, what the fuck are you doing here? Where's Tizias? Is she okay? She's fine. She doesn't know I'm here, and it's going to stay that way. Come over here. Daria looks really confused. She hesitates for a second before approaching the bars. Once she's in arm's reach, you grab her by the hand and yank her towards the bars. What the fuck? She yelps, her voice reverberating through the prison. You stare at the terrified girl in your hand and you freeze. What are you doing? You're letting your emotions get the best of you and you're taking them out on a prisoner you barely know. I can't do it. You drop Daria's arm. Can't do what? Daria asks. Are you about to kill me or something? 'Cause newsflash, dude, the Empire's gonna do that in a couple parages anyway. Just forget it. Don't tell anyone I was here. You start to walk away when Daria grabs your hand. No, seriously. Tell me what's going on. Is the rebellion compromised? Were you trying to kill me to keep the Empire from getting any info out of me? Did something happen to Carcat? Tell me. It's nothing like that. You pause. I was trying to kiss you. Daria stares at you in disbelief. Holy shit, everyone's looking for a pitch point now, I guess. Well, oh no, it's nothing like that. You sink to the floor, defeated. Daria joins you and sits facing you, prison bars still between you. I had a bit of a fight with Zizi last night. After the fight, I found out Zizi hooked up with Tagora, and I can't believe those two would betray me like that, especially with my moral allegiance with Tagora being so new. And you thought kissing me would get back at them? Daria asks, perplexed. Exactly. Zizi kissed my moral, I kiss hers, we're even. You do realize those two are pitch, right? You know how quadrants work? I know, but for the first time in a while, words seem to fail you. I guess I let my emotions get the better of me. Yeah, I'd say. Daria gets up. Isn't this something you should talk over with your actual Moirail? Looks like you're cheating on Tagora more than he's cheating on you. Is it really cheating with my Moirail to talk about my feelings with other people? I can't trust him right now. Daria gives you a look, sighs, and sits back down. Fine, talk me through it. It's not like I actually give a shit about that rat boy's feelings anyway. I think there's some kind of sacrifice mentioned with Tagore and Kanai that heightened their bond. That was what's it called? God tiering. They God tiered together.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Kanaya dragged Tagora's corpse to the quest bed. Right?
That was Karkat and... I think both of them did, because Karkat and Tizius did, but yes, Tagora and Kanaya did as well.
Because they're both space players.
Yeah.
Your name is Karkat Entic Seziat, and you are so bored. Mama Stels hasn't been back home in days, and Mama Tiz is too busy to play with you. She's sitting in the culinary block with Uncle Gorgor, staring at a phone and whispering. They aren't even doing anything interesting like yelling or kissing. You stare at the Trollian window on your laptop, which you've been doing all evening. Terezi's still out doing some stupid flarp thing with her friends, and Kanaya is diurnal, whatever that means, so you only get to talk to her right before bedtime. You pull the piece of paper Mama Tiz gave you out of your pocket and roll it in your hands. Maybe if you touch Terezi's Trollian handle enough, the little green circle next to her name will light up. He's so cute. I wrote him to be that cute. You unroll the piece of paper absentmindedly, and your eyes drift to the line of text under Terezi's handle. That's right! Mama Tiz gave you 2 friends to make! You type the second handle, Twin Armageddons, into the search bar, and oh, they're online! You're ready to make a new friend. Incoming transmission from MA Secure Network. Carcinogeneticist contacting Twin Armageddons.
Hey! What the fuck? Who are you? I'm Karkat! Fuck you, go away. Well, fuck you too. Maybe I don't want to talk to you. Making friends with Terezi was so much easier than this. Oh shit, yeah, the mystery kid Tiz was telling me about. You know Terezi? Everyone knows TZ. Yeah, just like she said. Gray text, all caps, somehow clueless about how you two interact with other trolls? You know what? You can stay. I'm curious about you.
Yes, another friend down. Well, potential friend anyway. You look up from your laptop at Mama Tiz and Uncle Gorgor, excited to tell them about TA, but they're still too busy to give you a second glance. You return to your screen.
TZ said you won't tell me where you live. Nope, Mommy Tiz told me never tell anyone. What the fuck is a Mama Tiz? A big troll that takes care of me. What's such a weird thing to call your Luthus? Although your Luthus is a troll? So fucking weird. You know you just call it a troll mom or a troll dad, right? But I have 2 troll moms and an uncle. I'm going to figure you out, KK. Oh, I'm Solix, by the way.
Another name. Amazing. Your moment of glee is broken when you hear shouting from across the room, and not the fun kind of shouting. Fuck, Tagora, are you getting this? Mama Tiz is gripping her phone way tighter than usual.
Getting what?
Uncle Gorgor bends over to take a look. It's from Malik. Time limit's running out, can't keep the cameras out much longer. Why the fuck were the cameras down?
He says...
Uncle Gorgor nearly falls out of his chair.
What was Stelsa doing asking to turn the security cameras off?
Alarm will sound soon, I did all I could. Shit! And he can't even reach her to get her out of there? Mama Tiz puts her head on the table. Defeated. We're screwed. She's screwed. Never even got to fucking apologize.
I could probably dox you, know. What's dox mean?
It means I'll hack into the system and find out where you live.
Don't you fucking dare!
Oh, I will fucking dare.
No!
Then I'm gonna tell TT and Kan and everyone else where you live. And TC is gonna drag you to all those stupid RP things.
No!
I'm just messing with you. Sorry.
It's okay. Can you hack? That's really cool.
Yeah, it is.
My hacking skills are the coolest in Alternia. Can you teach me? I don't know. Will you tell me your secret? No! Then you'll figure out how to hack on your own.
Sad little Karkat face. Your conversation is interrupted by Mama Tiz closing your laptop. Karkat, I'm really sorry about this, but you're gonna have to go in the closet a little early tonight. This is really important. You're about to fight her on it, but you've never seen Mama Tiz shake so much. She looks more scared than you've ever seen her. You nod and pull yourself to your tiny foam-padded closet. You still have no idea what's going on, but you wonder if it has to do with Mama Stealth not coming home. You miss her. Harry says that they love your Solix voice.
Aw, thank you.
Your name is Stelsa says yet, and you needed this. You needed this so desperately. Processing your negative emotions has never been your strong suit, but somehow Daria gets it. No wonder Tizius has such a strong moral allegiance with her. Tagora wants to be there for you? Oh, fuck, I gotta sneeze. Hold on. Ugh. Gross. Allergies are stupid. Sure. If any of you don't have allergies, you have no fucking clue how lucky you are. Tagora wants to be there for you. He wouldn't have entered a quadrant with you if he didn't. I know, you reply, but I don't want him to look down on me for whining about my problems. Do you look down on him? You pause for a second. I guess I kind of do. There it is, Daria says. If you judge people for opening up, you'll never be able to do it yourself. I owe him an apology, don't I? You look down, bringing your black drape in your hands. Uh-huh. Daria nods, like you finally stumbled across the obvious after all this time. You should also really talk to Tizius about everything with Karkat. You shake your head. No, I'm not ready to tackle that yet. Listen. She puts a hand on your knee through the jail cell bars. I know this is a lot to take in. I know this revolution shit is way out of your comfort zone. If it's too much for you, Tizius will respect that. She won't drag you off the ship if you tell her that you don't want to go. But I want her to stay here with me. I just wish she could understand how good a life we have on the ship together. I don't get why life here isn't good enough for her. Why I'm not good enough for her. There it is. You finally open up, and everything you've been keeping inside for the past day floods out. Daria squeezes your knee while you cry. You've never been on the receiving end of Tizius going off about you. She's taken huge chunks out of her pale sessions just to tell me about your latest successes, or how good you looked on your last date, or any number of super mundane maidsprit things I couldn't give a shit about. She cares about you more than you could imagine, which is why she wants you to help her build a better future so badly. I still don't know if what she's doing is right, though. You wipe your eyes on your sleeve. Well, it is right in that it's just to take care of Lucis's child, but actively speaking out against the Empire, abandoning her enlistment, believing in conspiracy theories about the end of the universe, it's just not safe. Daria raises her eyebrows. You do know it's not a conspiracy theory, right? Oh no, not you too. No, seriously, all the signs point to the end of the Alternian Empire in about 5.5 sweeps, and Karkat is the key. If Tizius didn't care about you, she wouldn't want you to escape with her so badly. And what if the signs are wrong, you ask? What happens if we flee from the ICO, prepare for the end of the world, and then nothing happens? Our careers will be over. So you go off the grid. Daria shrugs nonchalantly. Malik's been living outside the Empire's detection since the day he ascended, and he's safer than all of us. You'd probably meet up with him and form a rebel colony. This is getting a bit much. You stand up and gather your drape. I'm still going to need to think this over. You feel a buzz in your pocket. A slew of texts comes through to your palm husk from Malik. Oh, sorry, let me check these. You scroll through the texts, most of them asking how long you'll be. The latest text reads, "Can't keep the cameras down forever. Alarm will sound soon." Alarm will sound soon? How soon? You ask. Daria's eyes go wide. How long ago did you get that text? About a minute ago. Stelsa, run. Your heart drops to the floor. You turn your heel and bolt down the prison halls, not bothering to keep quiet. Shortly after the door comes into your line of sight, an alarm blares over the loudspeakers. Do the alarm. Sorry.
Warning, security breach. All personnel to designated living corridors.
The second the alarm starts, an enormous gate begins to lower over the door. You manage to slip past it, but it catches your drape as you duck under. You leave it and run. You need to get as far away from the scene of the crime as possible. What harm can an abandoned drape do anyway? Once you're out of sight of the prison doors, you slow to a light jog. Home free at last.
Who's it?
This is Argent, the high actuary.
I don't remember what his deal is. Is it his?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a money man.
Oof, watch where your Miss says yet.
You run face first into another troll, knocking your glasses straight off your face. I am so sorry. You fumble to put your glasses back on, finally noticing your boss standing over you, quirking an eyebrow. Oh, hi, Actuary Argent. What a pleasant surprise to see you out here.
What are you doing out here, Miss Sezyat? It's incredibly late, and the alarms have been going off for a few minutes now.
Oh, You aren't used to having to cover your tracks. Argent's stare is not making it easier to come up with a lie. I was just finishing up my run. Today was so busy I couldn't start until late. Can't skip cardio.
Very well, then.
That seems to be a good enough excuse. I'm just heading home now, you say sheepishly.
I'll come with you.
Argent jumps in.
I was tasked to check in on the lower teal apartment block, so I may as well follow you home.
Your pusher beats faster. Let me just text my mate Sprit first. The block is pretty messy. We didn't know we would be having a guest tonight. You send Tisius a text, hoping to God that Karkat isn't making a fuss about being put in the closet. The walkover is incredibly awkward. The High Actuary makes a few stops over at other apartments before you make it to yours, so you end up standing awkwardly in the hallway while he makes pleasant conversation with the trolls inside, all while the alarms continue to cry out throughout the ship. When you open the door to your apartment, Tisius is waiting for you on the lounge plank with Tagora right next to her. You've been dreading coming back to this apartment since you stormed out last night, but all you can feel now is a wave of intense relief. You can't help yourself. The second Tisius stands up, you wrap your arms around her.
I see you two are quite close,
Argent says from the doorway.
Good evening, Neophyte Entic. Nice to see my star junior. The Terrorizer has such a loving mate Sprit.
He notices Tagora, still on the lounge plank.
Showmaster Korchak, what a surprise to see you here. Shouldn't you be in your own quarters, like the alarm says? Tisius was concerned when Stealth had come back when the alarms went off. Can't I give my good friend more support when she needs it?
Tagora is unfazed, as usual.
I suppose.
Argent chides.
But you're lucky I came here first before checking next door. You wouldn't have wanted me to make any assumptions about your whereabouts.
Tagora freezes in his seat. The High Actuary glances across the room one last time, the three of you holding your breath as his eyes drift over the back closet.
Well, looks like everything is in order here. I'll see you at work tomorrow, Miss Sezyat.
Argent steps out the door, and all of you can finally breathe again. You turn to Tisius. Zizi, sweetie, I'm so... Don't apologize, she interrupts. I've put you through so much these past few parages. I've known this was out of your comfort zone, but I kept assuming you'd be okay with it eventually. This is all my fault. Well, this whole mess was my fault. If I hadn't let my emotions get the best of me, I wouldn't have broken into the prison section to try to kiss Daria. Tisius looks at you strangely. That's why you were in the prison section? Were you feeling pitch for her or something? That's what Daria assumed too, you say. No, I was mad at you for kissing my Morel, especially because my Morel allegiance was feeling so fragile. But I thought I could feel better if I kissed your Morel. I know it was stupid, doesn't make sense, but that's what I thought I had to do in the moment. Tisius laughs at you, but not in a cruel way. Well, I'm sorry I started getting pitch feelings for your Morel right after we had a fight. That was kind of a dick move. It kind of was. You give her a kiss before turning to Tagora. And speaking of my Morel, Tagora, I know I haven't been very open with you, and I'm sorry for that. I'm new to the whole thinking about my emotions thing, so I really hope I haven't shut you out for good. I really want to make this work.
Oh, I was never mad at you. Come, sit down.
Tagora gestures to the lounge plank next to him. You sit down and Tisius follows. The three of you sit on the lounge plank, leaning on each other until Tisius falls asleep on your shoulder, and Tagora starts to yawn. For just a moment, maybe you think this quadrant triangle can work out. Your name is Taimar Argent, more formally known as the High Actuary of the ICO. You enter the main conference room after a long night of checking the apartments of half the teal population on the ship, only to be greeted by the heads of the legal departments and a handful of clowns. Okay, so there's three heads. There's the head legis lacerator, High Actuary, and lead showman. Who wants to?
Oh, I don't care. I guess I'm already doing the...
You're already... I'll do the head legis lacerator then.
You do the lash, okay.
All accounted for? The head legis lacerator asks.
Every single one.
You reply. Oh, really? Everyone? The head legis lacerator grins and holds up and pushes a torn black drape at you from across the conference table. Then it looks like we have some investigating to do.
This is the torn black drape chapter.
Yeah.
I love this. This is so clever.
This is one of my favorite chapters, actually. Throws meteor at planet. Oh no, the economy. That's what Stelz's priorities sound like. Honestly, yeah. Stelsa would do well in government.
Oh my god.
Everyone wants a hate fling with the diamonds of their hearts.
We switching off again?
Yeah, you should do the... You are the torn black drape now.
You are a torn black drape in the center of a conference table. A sole piece of evidence of a crime with no culprit. You are surrounded by the highest officers of the Imperial Central Office Judicialship. The High Actuary, Head of Auditorization, the Lead Showman, Head of Trial Presentation, and, of course, the highest-ranking teal in the Alternian Royal Fleet, the Head Legislator. Accompanying them is a handful of clowns and a very frightened Goldblood. The Goldblood, an unfortunate security system operator who happened to be on duty during the time of the security blackout that caused this mess, has been the subject of interrogation for the past half hour. Three teals tower over him as one of the clowns bends his arm in a direction no arm should be bent.
I told you! I have no idea what caused the blackout. One moment all the cameras were on, and the next day... Ah!
The clown bends his arm so far back you can hear a sickening crunch. The head legislator paces around the interrogatee's chair.
The prison cameras and a not insignificant amount of teal-side cameras were reported to have been cut for a solid hour and a half. How exactly did it take you that long to notice the blackout if they were on one moment and off the next?
The Goldblood shrinks back into his seat.
I'm sorry, man.
He sputters.
I'll never slack off on the job again, I promise. No more naps. Please, just let me go, please.
What kind of voice should the lead showman have?
Oh, fuck. What's Tagora adjacent but not? Like, he's...
Oh, wait, I think I can do this. He's right. He had nothing to do with it. The lead showman says, someone just uncovered the security room tape. He was napping on the job.
The head Oh, wait, yeah, here.
The head legislator rolls her eyes.
Fine. He's innocent. Doesn't mean he didn't cause us a mess of trouble.
He points at the door dramatically.
Throw him to his honorable tyranny. He's not even worth a trial at this point.
The clowns grab the Goldblood by his shoulders and drag him out of the room, kicking, screaming, and begging for his life. The head legislator sits down and runs her hands through her hair.
Still no closer to finding out who cut the cameras.
She grumbles.
Damn, I thought for sure he'd have had something to do about it.
Perhaps it would be easier to find the culprit if we track the information we have rather than what we don't. The High Actuary jumps in, gesturing to you, still at the center of the table.
I've already sent a horde of interns to check the inventory of every supply closet on the ship, but who knows how long that could take.
Don't forget, the lead showman adds, the security cameras are the only pair of eyes we have in the prison. I'd say it's about time we bring in the snitch. After not too long, the clown returns, this time carrying a cerulean-blooded girl with long hair and an extra eye. She struggles against the clowns, but with a lot less terror than the previous suspect.
Okay, can either of us do a Dami impression?
No. Put me down, she barks. Do you even know who I am?
Okay, that just sounds like Tagora.
Yeah,
I'll try doing it.
You try it. You give it a try.
Put me down!
She barks.
Do you even know who I am? Clown.
You do this, clown.
We know exactly who you are.
One of the clowns bends down to her level, breathing directly in her ear.
Don't think we forgot about your grub tube crimes.
She gulps as the two clowns plop her down into the interrogation chair.
Prisoner 4013. Or should I say, Miss Carmilla?
The head legislator's voice is as smooth as silk.
A player as important as you should be treated with some respect, no? Oh, legislator lass, you do flatter me so. What do you need to know?
The head legislator leans in.
Was there any suspicious activity in the prisons right before the alarms went off last night? Any intruders or unusual visitors? Actually...
Carmilla thinks for a moment.
There were a couple strange visitors this wipe. One a few days ago and another one last night.
The head legislator's eyes widen.
There was more than one. What were they doing? I have no idea what the first ones were saying. There were two of them. One of them slapped the other for some reason. The one from last night I could definitely hear, though. Not everything, but she was deafeningly loud at some times. Wouldn't shut up about quadrants, either. Quadrants? These trespassers broke our security system to talk about quadrants.
Carmilla jumps at the sound of the head legislator's voice.
They were all angry at that little jade blood cell, at the angry little jade blood cell. Maybe she's become some sort of quadrant therapist. Angry jade blood.
The head legislator taps her chin.
Argent, pull up the records of any jade bloods currently in custody.
There's only one, sir. The high actuary opens a file and projects it across the room. Prisoner 1130, Daria Jonjet, arrested for rebellious activity and illegal preservation of grubs, charged for high treason, and set to be tried and executed in about a half a sweep.
Add illegal quadrant therapy to those charges.
The head legislator takes a seat and clasps her hands, grinning.
Thank you, Miss Carmilla. You've been a great help. Keep going like this, and we may be able to remove your charges without a trial. You may go.
She grins back and stands up, only to be lifted off the ground by the clowns once again, dragged kicking back to her cell. The head legislator leans back in her seat.
Take a brief recess, boys. When we come back, we'll be questioning one Daria Jonjet.
The three teals break over...
I've been trying to send the same message about Tagora beating Scratch twice now. Censored. No! I think Tagora should beat Scratch up. That would be hilarious.
The three teals break over a brief...
Wait, hold on. I think maybe I'd be able to see censored messages if I do live chat instead of top chat.
It should show you, though.
Oh, there it is!
What the fuck, YouTube?
There, I see it now. I see it now. I see it now. I see it now. Tagora should kick the shit out of Scratch. Source, I hate him in his little lima bean suit.
The three teals break over a brief lunch break when a younger teal bursts through the doors, papers in hands.
Head legislator Lash. Ma'am, we've inventoried the supply closets.
The intern is panting, leaning in on the door jamb.
Give them here.
The head legislator sighs.
I suppose we'll be ending our recess a little early.
The three heads of department pore over the notes, landing on a supply closet inventory circle in red.
Pull up the cameras for supply closet 3.
The head legislator barks. The lead showman makes his way over to the computer and scrolls through the camera records. Completely blacked out at the time of the breach.
Yes, obviously.
She rolls her eyes.
What about right before the breach? Any suspicious activity then?
Nothing unusual for a while. Oh, I found something. The lead showman's eyes widen. Argent, I think you're going to want to take a look at this. The other two teals crowd around the computer to take a look. The high actuary takes a step back when he sees the figure on the screen. A very distraught teal blood in a pink blazer. Stelsa Seziat. She's one of my most reliable new recruits. What could she possibly... The high actuary stops in his tracks and thinks for a moment. Actually, it was rather suspicious when I found her out jogging while the alarms are going off. The lead showman breaks off from the computer and leans back in his large plush office chair. Well, it looks like we found our culprit. Let's just arrest Seziat and get back on with our lives.
Wait.
The head legislator jumps in.
Carmilla mentioned 2 other intruders in the prison, and we still haven't found the source of the security breach.
I think I may have a guess as to who the other 2 intruders could be. The high actuary scrolls through the ship's legislator database and pulls up the 2 files. Neophyte Tizius Entak and Showmaster Tagora Gorjak. Both came from the same district and outlet as Seziat. Entik is a registered mate sprite, and the 3 of them spend an inordinate amount of time together. I escorted Seziat back to her quarters when the alarms went off, and found Gorjak waiting for her along with her mate sprite. Lead showman pouts a little. You really think they're involved? Gorjak is one of the most promising new showmasters I've had in a long time. I'd hate to see him tried.
There isn't much evidence to prove either of them are involved with Seziat's treason.
The head legislator adds.
But I have an idea on how the 2 of them can prove their loyalty.
Your name is Tizius Entak, and you're having your first normal evening in about a week. Yes, you've still got Daria's impending doom on your mind, but there's nothing you can do about that right now. So you're enjoying some takeout with Stelsa while Tagora gives himself a manicure on the lounge plank, keeping one eye on Karkat. As usual, Karkat is glued to his laptop, happily tapping away at whatever new friend he's managed to make today. You lightly tap Stelsa with your foot under the table, wordlessly telling her you're glad she's there. The last few nights were rough, to say the least, and you're happy to have some semblance of normalcy for once. That brief moment of peace is interrupted with a sharp knock on the door, followed by a booming voice. Who is this? Just some random person?
Some random guy.
Stelsa Seziat, you're under arrest. Open up or face immediate culling.
Tagora rockets off the lounge plank and grabs Karkat by the collar of his shirt, dragging him down the back hallway and tossing him into the evolution block. You and Stelsa approach the door, both shaking. She cautiously unlocks the door, but before she's able to turn the knob, the voice on the other side swiftly opens the door and enters. A senior legislator with a clipboard steps through the entry, followed by two enormous purple bloods, who grab Stelsa and lift her up by her shoulders. One of the purples shoves you out of the way, sending you careening off to the floor next to the culinary block table. Is the same person speaking?
Yeah.
Stelsa Seziat, you're charged for crimes of tampering with ship security, breaking and entering into an imperial prison, and illegal solicitation of quadrant advice.
The legislator barks, reading off a list from on his clipboard.
You will be stripped of your auto-terrorizer duties for the time being, and you are set to be tried in 6 periges.
Illegal what's going on?
Stelsa pleads. One of the clowns responds by twisting her shoulder until she cries out in pain.
You have the right to remain silent.
The legislator slams his hand on his clipboard. He turns heel and marches out the door, the two purple bloods following suit. Stelsa turns her head to you, tears in her eyes. You can't do anything but stare, petrified. As soon as the purple bloods leave, another figure steps through the door and walks up to you. You stare up, still splayed on the floor, at head legislator Tameen Lash, your boss and the most powerful teal blood in the galaxy.
I apologize for the interruption, Neophyte Antic. Those clowns can be so needlessly rough.
Lash helps you off the floor, then brushes her own suit off as if she'd been the one tossed across the room.
It's a shame about your maid, Sprit. Who would have thought she was capable of such high treason? The law is the law, however. I'm actually here to deliver some good news to you, Neophyte Antic. You too as well, Showmaster Gorjek. I'm glad I caught you here tonight.
She turns to Tagora, still frozen in place outside the ablution block.
The committee has decided you two are ready to lead your first trial.
She hands the two of you thick manila folders without awaiting a response.
The majority of the evidence has already been collected, so there's no need for a research team. You just work your magic that the lead showman has told me so much about, Mr. Gorjek. And you.
The head legislator stares you straight in the eyes.
I cannot wait to hear your case in the trial and execution of Stelsa Seziat.
Damn!
Illegal solicitation of quadrant advice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Tagora and ale details always make me happy. Haha, I do that. He just seems like the kind of person who would always be filing his nails.
Yep.
Wait, what?
This is the big time skip chapter.
Aww.
I mean, you are one of the best currently active Homestuck creators. Did anyone mention me?
I have no idea. Cole, I don't know who that is. Bless you. Where's Meg? This wasn't me. Void Lace, whoever that is. Another Jojo.
I think you should mention
I'm gonna
me.
mention you.
So, there is a fun little detail in this chapter. So, you know how last time I mentioned that if we get $100 of donations between now and by the time we finish the lineage, I will release my secret NSFW Tisgora chapter that I wrote for fun. Well, that takes place in the middle of this chapter, and I will point out where it happens. So, you know, if any of you had the urge to see, to read a fic where, you know, Tizius and Tagora do some pitch stuff, some real fun pitch
Crow
stuff.
mentioned me too.
Yay, because you're the best. Then, yeah, that may be coming if I can reach my YouTube monetization limit by the time we finish the lineage. And that might be for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, because the antecedent is twice the length of the progeny, and the lineage is twice the length of the antecedent, so...
But I will point out where the sex chapter happened.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably obvious, but yeah.
All right.
16th of 8th perigee, EC 10606. This is how I've always written the years, like era condescension, and then however long the. I've always imagined like, okay, whenever the new empress comes in, they change calendars, or they start at year 0, and the empress has been there a long fucking time.
She's been there for like 25,000 years, if those are sweeps, assuming those are sweeps.
Yeah, and so if it's the end of the world is 10612, it's currently 10606. No reactions to the mention of the NSFW chapter. We've cursed people too much. It's too cursed. 18th of 6th perigee, EC 10606. 6 perigees until trial date. Your name is Tisius Entic, and you don't know what to feel. Nope, that's not right. You know you should be feeling deep terror. Tell me where to donate. Oh, you want to see it. Okay, firstly, so we are not going to make this available to anyone under 18. We are going to stream it in an 18-only Twitch stream that Jonaya will make.
Yeah, we'll do it on my Twitch
We're
channel.
not soliciting we're not soliciting money from children for porn, basically. That's I'm not doing that.
Morally and legally questionable.
Yeah. But I mean, you can just give a super chat.
Or super chat, or donate.
Or I have a
your
Ko-fi.
Ko-fi.
My Ko-fi is in the bottom. And also, if you don't have money, you can just like watch my videos with ads on them and give me some sweet ad revenue.
Yeah. Can you throw me a blanket? It's down at the bottom. Just like drape it over me.
Okay. Ooh, I don't want to knock over my everything.
Yeah.
Where?
It should be down there?
It's actually on the chair. I'll give you the quote.
Fuck. Okay. Quilt's fine.
It's squishy.
Yeah, it is. It's really nice. Alright.
No, that's not right. You know you should be feeling deep terror and crushing loss, and any number of emotions appropriate to feel after being just told you would oversee the execution of your mate sprit, but all you can do is stand there, frozen, mind blank. The manila folder holding Stelz's case files dropped to the floor long ago, paper sprawled around you in a semicircle. It's not until you feel a tiny hand wrap itself around your thumb that you snap out of it. Karkat looks at you with giant watery eyes.
Mama Tiz, is Mama Stelz gonna be okay?
That breaks you. You crouch down to Karkat's level, wrap him in your arms, and cry. You can hear Tagora sniffling from across the room and trying and failing to keep his calm facade on.
You're gonna pay for the mascara I'm losing from this, you know?
He tries to say through his tears, wiping large globules of black from under his eyes. Shut up, Tagora. You sniffle back. Eventually you pick Karkat up and the two of you haul the two of you to the lounge plank. Tagora joins you and the three of you fall asleep in a pile of uncertainty. You're 26 at work. Okay, cool. Yeah, go ahead and donate. Feel free. Feel free. It ain't cursed. I just don't think I'm just along for the ride. Yeah, valid. Also, like, you know, Tizgor is not a super popular ship. It's one that I like.
Very uncommon.
It's uncommon. There's only like 7 fics on AO3. 8 if I post mine.
3 of which are
yours.
Well, no, 3 of which are
Progeny,
in this Progeny universe, because it's in the sequels.
No thoughts, head empty. 20th of 8th perigee, EC 10606, 6 perigees until trial date. The ICO committee decided it'd be best to give you your requisite 3 days of grieving before you start work on Stelz's trial. You guess they're assuming it would be easier on you if you already consider her dead before you start work on her elaborate execution. But of course, nothing could ever make this easier. I'm Jared, 19, and I never motherfucking learned how to read. Love that meme so much. I'm glad that Vine had good lasting Vine memes. Like, really good lasting Vine memes. TikTok cannot fucking compare. I'm sorry. I love TikTok, but I fucking hate it. Immediately after your 3 days are up, you're ushered away to a perigee of special training with the head legislacerator. Training that all teals moving up to full legislacerator have to take, but you don't know how normal it is to do them one-on-one with the head. You'd normally be thrilled to be promoted so soon. Not that you particularly care for the work you do, but the closer you are to the top, the closer you are to people who could meaningfully convince to try even a touch of legal reform. Given the circumstances, though, reform is the last thing on your mind. Tameen Lash looms over you as you rapidly scribble notes in a notebook, studying you from all angles. Make sure to pay attention to the dress code, she chides. You may be a brilliant researcher, but no amount of information can save you from sloppy presentation. Remember, if the clowns aren't happy with the way things look, your traps could be set on you. Lash says the last sentence as if she's hoping for you to mess up. She takes a loose lock of your hair and flicks it nonchalantly. You should get Gorjek to help you with all this. He knows what he's doing. 14th of 9th Perigee, EC 10606. 5 Perigees until trial date. It's about a Perigee before you manage to tell Malik what's been going on. You can't bring yourself to talk about it any more than you're already forced to for work. So you, Tagora, and Karkat spend most of your evenings numbing your pain with old cartoons and takeout. As much as you hate him, Tagora is... Okay, are they watching Beck Rogers? Is that the old cartoon?
Sure. Well, it wasn't a cartoon. It's like a live-action show, but...
Extreme capitalists and revolutionary idealists hate dating each other as a dynamic... Yes, you get me. You get it. Okay, this has always been, like, my favorite ship dynamic. Pro-establishment, anti-establishment, I can fix them kind of ship. And over, ever since I was, like, 14, my favorite ships were always a pro-establishment with an anti-establishment. And it's just sort of settled on Tizgora. But you get me. Where were we? Old cartoons and take it. As much as you hate him, Tagora is probably the only reason why you and Karkat haven't starved this past Perigee. Even though he's losing his Moirail, he's taking Stelsa's arrest much better than you are. So he's the one who remembers to order takeout and reminds you to shower, and he's even been picking up some of the slack on your paperwork. You know you're going to owe him once this is all over, but you can barely think about tomorrow, let alone half a sweep from now. Malik isn't used to radio silence from you. Only hours after Lash took Stelsa from you, your burner husk began to blow up. After ignoring that for a few days, he started texting Stelsa's palm husk nonstop. Thank God she set it down to charge before she got arrested, or the heads would have taken off of her and found out everything. You almost wish it had been confiscated, though. You can't bear to hear Stelsa's cheerful ringtone buzzing away in the empty respite block you haven't even dared to set foot in alone. Tagora is actually the one who tells Malik about Stelsa. After wipes of texting you, Stelsa, and the group chat, Tagora finally steps in. Incoming transmission from MA Secure Network. Snakebites is contacting group Free John Jet.
Okay, guys, it's been almost a Perigee. At this point, I'm gonna assume you're not silent to evade security measures anymore. I'll let the rest of the rebellion know you're dead, and Karkat probably is too. You guys were the best. Sacrificing yourselves for the progeny, we'll miss you.
We're not dead, you sap.
Oh, holy shit, you're back. Tisius is dealing with a lot over here. You can stop trying to contact her while she's grieving her mate split. Oh my god, what happened to Stelsa?
Oh, Empress, she still hasn't told you? Hold on 1 second.
Once again, Tagora snaps you out of a spiral and forces you to talk to Malik. You catch him up on the situation, Tagora constantly redirecting you to keep typing whenever your mind forces you to stop to keep from crying. Malik's response is surprising, to say the least.
Don't take this the wrong way, but what if we could use this to our advantage?
Does Tisius count as an anarchist cop?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I guess she's not officially a cop. Ever.
She's strongly
but she's cop adjacent.
The Delightful Abattoir iteration of her is the closest to being like a cop. Like, she's like a criminal investigator, basically, in that. She's like FBI.
Now, Teresa's an anarchist cop.
Yes.
By the way, for any of you who don't know, I invented Tisius first, and her name is Teresa,
yeah,
and I wrote her the night before Tisius's Friend Sim Route came out. Literally the night before, I wrote this song I wrote Work from Time's Apprentice. I invented her first. I have to keep saying that. So What Pumpkin knows I have claim over her story. 22nd of 11th Perigee, EC 10606, 3 Perigees until trial date. Tagora ended up taking really well to his duties as the main showmaster on Stelsa's trial. Of course he did. He was practically born to boss around a horde of lighting and set designers. His only problem is none of the junior showmasters are anywhere near as good as he is.
Boring.
Tagora crumples up a trial proposal and tosses it across the table at your head. The fuck did you do that for? You growl. It's not my fault your coworkers are shit at their job.
None of these idiots know how to put on a good show. Every single one of these trial ideas focuses on the illegal quadrant therapy aspect of the story. I don't want to design a trial based off of our stupid quadrant triangle.
You unroll the balled up paper and give it a read, and God, it really is the most asinine trial you've ever read. You're the lead, right? You ask. Don't you have the power to scrap all your assistants' ideas and choose your own?
Obviously, but I don't want to. I was hoping I'd get someone else to come up with the idea so I didn't have to think about it.
You get it. You really do. If you could, you'd never think about this trial again. At least Tagora has the luxury of a handful of junior showmasters. You weren't even given any neophytes to help with the trial prep. You can tell Lass is just trying to get you to crack. Well, what kind of show do you usually propose? You don't know why you're trying to help him. You don't want to think about this any more than he does.
I don't know. Something more interesting than some overacted fight with a fake mate spread who shoots her in the end.
You grimace at that. You know, I wouldn't let you approve that. What kind of shit have you suggested in the past? You were pretty into it when you were putting my memorial up for execution.
You want me to reuse Darius' execution plans?
Again, the illegal quadrant therapy is never elaborated on. It's Alternia. Everything's illegal. Okay, but that would be really funny if couples therapy was illegal. Or if you had to be a specific certified person to be okay to do. Well, I mean, you do. Actually, charging for therapy when you don't have a therapy license, is that illegal? Like what Sixpence did?
Practicing therapy without a license.
Yes! Daria's basically being charged for practicing therapy without a license. And Salsa's being charged for accepting therapy without...
Oh my god.
From someone without a license. Tagore throws back his head laughing.
I don't think boiling Salsa and grub blood is the kind of show the heads are looking for.
Tagore flips through his notes for a moment and pauses.
Actually... You wouldn't happen to know of any famously treasonous teal bloods, wouldn't you?
Well, there's the apostate, famous for speaking against the clown mid-trial and clubbed to death on the spot. There's the recusant, a teal blood who somehow avoided ascension for What the fuck?!
Holy shit!
Holy fucking shit. Okay, next stream, we're doing
I guess we're doing the NSFW chapter when it's finished. Well,
it's
not
finished.
On this, but on, yeah. Oh, it's finished. Okay.
I wrote it. Remember I showed you the end of it?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh my god, T-Man, you are incredible.
That's amazing.
I hope you like BDSM.
I guess I'm gonna dig out my Twitch channel and get it set up.
Wait, it's why the Lime Bloods were killed. They were doing illegal quadrant therapy.
Yeah.
We're still on. Okay, cool. Yes, it's Tisgora BDSM. Tisius will be tied to a chair. Let me guess. Your first reaction is going to be, you think Tisius is the one who bottoms?
AC After Dark.
Because that's what Chrissy's reaction was.
Oh
She's like,
my
wait,
God.
you think Tagora tops? No, they switch.
Yeah, they're both switches. Alright.
Thank you so much, T-Man.
That's awesome.
I never thought that would actually happen.
Yeah, that's fucking amazing. I know YouTube's gonna take a cut of it, but it brings you, it gets you to the goal.
Yeah.
Alright.
They're probably gonna take a third of it, aren't they?
They probably are, but whatever.
Where are you, thing of mine?
You were in
the
the middle of
apostate,
reading about the people.
Well, there's the apostate, famous for speaking against the clown mid-trial and clubbed to death on the spot. There's the recusant, a teal blood who somehow avoided ascension for 30 sweeps. There's a scrivener, but I'd rather not touch her with a 10-foot pole. Your eyes go wide. Do you know the real story of Neophyte Red Glare? Also, by the way, this is the first time the scrivener
Didn't
was
I
mentioned.
make up some of those names?
Oh, you made up the... I made up the Scrivener, but you made up the other two.
I made the Apostle and the Recusant. Okay.
But the Scrivener, we all know Stenya says, yeah. There's a reason she didn't want to touch her with a 10-foot pole, because she knows.
What? The idiot who was hanged by her own jury? How could I forget? We were taught about her practically every sweep.
No, not the stupid cautionary tale, the real story. Tagora shakes his head. You grab his hand and yank him up. Come on, we're calling Malik. The two of you cram into Karkat's tiny padded closet and huddle around your burner husk. You don't know why you don't feel like you can just text this to Malik, but it feels right.
Has the fire been stoked?
Malik's video pops up on screen, hand covering the camera until you make sure it's safe. The flames are getting larger as we speak, you reply.
Holy shit. It's been a while since you wanted to do a video call. Is everything okay?
Malik removes his hand and reveals himself sitting in a pretty dingy-looking transport ship. One you know he stole around the time of Ascension. It ended up being his ticket to freedom. You know how you said we might be able to use Stulce's arrest to our advantage? You ask. Malik nods. I think I have an idea for how we can do that. Tagora tries to stretch out into the closet, bumping into the foam-padded walls.
I still have no idea what this has to do with neophyte red glare.
You gesture to the screen, implying the explanation is coming soon. If we create a trial so distracting and shocking, we might be able to use that as a way to escape. This might be risky, but I think we might have a shot. This is where you come in, Malik.
Was this written? This was written before or after the Delightful Laboratory.
Yes.
The two trials that are used as like a distraction.
Yeah. I may have gotten the inspiration from you.
Oh, really?
I may have. I don't remember.
I don't remember
but,
either.
But you're wonderful and good at writing.
Oh, thank you. Ooh. You're the greatest.
Therapy is viewed as line solicitation and sympathizing. That makes a lot of sense.
Oh my god, yeah. That does make sense.
9th of 12th Perigee, EC 10606. 3 Perigees until trial date. Historical reenactment, you say? Tameen Lash purrs at you from across the conference table. Okay, I tried really hard to make Tameen Lash be, like, horny.
Yeah.
She's supposed to be, like, the villain that everyone's like, oh, why is this so hot?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tameen Lash is supposed to be kind of hot, even though she's, like, an evil girl boss.
Yeah.
She's an evil girl boss, and she gets her comeuppance, but also she's supposed to be kind of hot. You and Tagora sit adjacent from the 3 heads, finished trial proposal spread out in front of you. It's been a while. Oh wait, this is Tisius. It's been a while since Attila said that had a show trial like this, you reply. We thought it would be interesting to invoke one of the most famous teal blood deaths by trial. She flips through the first page of your proposal nonchalantly. Yes, but neophyte red glare? I don't really see the connection between that and breaking into an imperial prison. It's less directly related to the crime and more the spirit of it, you know? You wave your hand in a circle, grasping the words out of midair. Something about biting off more than you can chew, you know? Lash begins to read the proposal a little more thoughtfully when the lead showman pipes up.
I think I'm gonna have to be the one to veto this one, actually.
He says.
The amount of actors you need to successfully reenact the death of Neophyte Red Glare is way out of budget. Not to mention how much training they'd all need. Actually, we've got that covered.
Tagora pipes up. He pulls out a small metal disc with a button on top, a gadget Malik sent you a few days before, and presses the top. A hologram pops up, displaying a mind-controlled low blood.
I got in contact with an old friend working at an Imperial tech development colony a few systems away. They're pretty experimental.
Tagora nudges the disc in the direction of the heads. The lead showman scoffs a bit.
Holograms aren't anything new. We stopped using them in the trial sweeps ago because it takes so much work to make them realistic. Ah, what the fuck? It's touching me!
The clamoring low-blood hologram begins to climb up the lead showman's arm like a small animal. You smirk. Nanobot holograms, all the flexibility of a hologram with all the tangibility of an actor. Lash sits down the proposal with a grin. Well, Legislator Entic, I'm impressed. You've certainly stepped up to the challenge much more than I expected you to. I don't know about everyone else, but you have my approval to go ahead. The other two heads nod along, still fascinated with Malik's hologram gadget. Anything else before you go? She asks. Actually, since you 3 are so excited about this, there's one more idea I'd like to throw out there. Lash clasps her hands, continuing to grin. Go on. I'd like to propose a double feature. 15th of 12th Perigee, EC 10606, 2 Perigees until trial date. Also, this is where the porn chapter fits in.
Yeah, it's after this one.
No, right before this.
Right before this, okay.
After careful deliberation, we've decided to approve your proposal for the dual trial of Stelsa Seziat and Daria Johnjet. We're expecting great things from you two. Don't let us down. You're sweaty and sticky and full of adrenaline. It really doesn't help that Lash video called to tell you the good news while you were in the middle of one of your rougher pitch set. Now you've seen the chapter, so you know what happens there. Okay, I want you all to imagine her, like, tied to a chair, and Tagora's holding the phone up to her head, so only her head can be seen, so Lash doesn't see that she's literally tied to a chair right now, and she's got, like, debris in her hair from everything. It's... yeah. He sets the phone down and goes to put on one of his ornate robes while you give yourself a moment to breathe. Looks like we're actually doing this, aren't we, Zordor?
I guess we are.
Dagora helps you up, handing you a robe as well, and the two of you sit down on the lounge plank. Malik's gonna have to find us a fuck ton more nanobots now. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Yeah. Listen. I'm innocent here. I just wrote what I wanted to. I guess I gotta start working on my final presentation. You're already making a to-do list in your mind.
You need to work on your presentation in general.
Dagora plucks a piece of debris out of your hair and flicks it at you. Shut up, I'm not stupid enough to present a trial with morning after hair.
Aren't you?
Dagora sighs and leans back.
If only we could tell them the good news.
God, I would kill to talk to Stels just one more time. You pause and pull out a burner husk. Dagora's taken to stockpiling extra palm husks, so he's always got a ton just floating around his apartment. You're guessing he sees some kind of business opportunity in it. What's the link to the Twitch account? What's your Twitch account?
My Twitch account?
Yeah, because I assume
it's
that's
Jonaya Riley. It's my name. It's twitch.tv/Jonaya Riley. I think. Check to make sure that's... I think I changed it. Because it used to use the old screen name I used, but I don't use it anymore for anything. Twitch.tv/Jonaya Riley.
Everybody's seeing my... Is that your account?
Yeah. Yep, there it is.
There you are.
That's me.
You!
That's me.
Nope, that's YouTube.
Yeah, I managed to get, like, Twitch's, like, affiliate because I used to use it for streaming fanfic reads, and also I used it for SawCon, and I got, like, 50 people from SawCon 2 years ago.
Does that mean that when we use it,
They'll get notifications, but, like, I'm gonna mark it as NSFW, so, like, they have to, like, acknowledge they're over 18 or whatever.
This being a topic of discussion, would the two of you be interested in the NSFW I have to write for the Friends from 2 universe? I'd read it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, totally.
You can't promo it in our Studio June server because we don't allow NSFW, but, like, sure.
Post it on Twitter.
Yeah.
Incoming transmission from MA Secure Network. Listless Advocate contacting Snakebites. Shutting off the cameras and visiting the prison section still out of the question, right?
Oh, definitely. Still haven't figured out how to hack the new security system.
Damn. We just got the trial approved, and I really wish there was a way to tell Stels and Dar what's coming.
Oh shit, you got it approved? You know, there might be a way to give them a heads up. Do you still have the holodisc I sent you?
Nah, the lead showman took it. He wanted to study it for future trials. Why?
I can direct some of the nanobots to carry a message to the prisons. If I do it right, it'll look like a napkin caught in an air current.
Shit, these nanobots are saving our lives. Where'd you get them anyway?
Swiped them a few Parags ago when I raided a tech colony for supplies. Give me another Parag. I'll send you more after more for the trial. Once they arrive, I can use them to pilot a letter to Stels and Daria. They won't be going into this blind.
Okay, they killed their current guy who was working, but they can always find another Goldblood to look at the security cameras. That's
True.
like if Crow's job killed Crow and
That's a hell of a comparison.
I mean, he basically has Crow's job.
Yeah.
We gotta find another Crow.
Oh my god.
I love that. 10th of 13th perigee, EC 10606, 1 perigee until trial date. This is the cutest part. Karkat clutches his pencil with an iron fist, hands trembling as he signs his name at the bottom of the letter you and Tagora have so carefully drafted to Stelsa. Next to his name, he draws a sloppy circle with a bunch of lines coming out. Oh no, not Crow. Well, hopefully Crow won't be killed. Well, actually, their job does seem like it's
Their job is fucking horrible.
Crow needs to leave their fucking job. Sloppy circle with a bunch of lines coming out of it. What's with the circle? You ask him.
It's the guy on my shirt.
Karkat points to his chest at the smiling crab on his t-shirt.
If Mama Stells forgets about me, maybe a picture will help her remember.
You choke up a little and scoop Karkat into your arms. Mama Stels will never forget about you. She is probably thinking about you every day. Karkat wraps his arms around you and squeezes tight. You know he missed Stelsa as much as you have.
Are you ready yet? We probably don't have much time left.
Tagora gestures to the clock and you hand him the letter. You shoot Malik a text, letting him know he can start taking the letter over. You watch as a handful of fly-sized robots carry your letter out the door and down the halls of the ICO. You only hope it gets to Stelsa all right. Isn't everything with Karkat iron already? Wait, where did it say iron?
Fuck. Iron Fist.
Oh, he's holding it.
He's holding
with an iron fist. Baby Karkat is so good.
Aww.
You've already got a letter written to Daria written out, but you'll send that in a few days, just to avoid suspicion. You're sure she's already been told about the trial date change, and possibly that it's a dual trial too, but you don't want her to be left in the dark. You sit down on the lounge plank and plop Karkat on your knee. You poke his face a little, and he snaps at your finger like a rogue bark beast, just like he used to when he was a grub. You've been talking to your friends lately? You ask.
Of course. It's the only thing to do in this stupid, boring house.
Karkat may have been less ornery about being locked in the house over the past few perigees, but that doesn't mean he hates it any less. You pause for a second. You know what you're about to do is risky, but you think it's what you need to do. How would you feel about meeting your friends in real life? Karkat's eyes go wide.
Really? Like, leave the apartment to see them?
You nod. In 1 perigee, we're gonna leave this place for good. You're gonna get to see the universe. You have never seen Karkat so happy as you see him now, but we're gonna need some help from your friends.
What kind of help?
Oh, I should have said hive house is not a word.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, you know how it's very important for you to hide sometimes? Karkat nods vigorously. Well, we're all gonna have to hide a whole lot more when we get to Alternia, both physically and online. Do you have any friends who can help us with that? Karkat thinks for a moment.
I don't know about hiding, but Solix is real good at hacking. I bet he can hack away our location.
Solix, you think? That's Twin Armageddons. And do you know anyone who might be able to find us a secret place to live? Karkat's bouncing even more now.
Oh, Terezi lives in the woods. She's my best friend. I know she'll hide us.
Terezi, Gallows Calibrator. That mysterious contact really did know who Karkat needed to talk to. Do you think you can convince them to help us?
Yes, I can do it now.
Karkat jumps off your lap and speeds off to the closet. All the puzzle pieces are finally falling into place. All that's left is to make sure you don't fuck up putting in the... Ugh. You don't fuck up putting in the last piece. God, why are my allergies being the worst today?
I don't know. You've been putting your face in Priona.
I haven't, though. I'm still gonna blame her, though.
Okay.
She's a little bitch. 15th of 14th perigee, EC 10606, trial date. Your notes are clutched in your fist, but there's no way you can memorize them more than you already have. You're wearing a perfectly tailored traditional legislator's uniform, complete with your caste symbol built into the jacket's design. It's stiff and uncomfortable, and you'd rather be wearing anything else, but you need to play the part today. And not a hair can be out of place. Speaking of hair, yours is slicked back with an unhealthy amount of gel, courtesy of Tagora. No matter how badly it wants to spring back to its normal form, it's not going to escape its sticky prison. Today, everything will look perfect. It has to. Tagora walks up behind you and puts a hand on your shoulder.
I'm going up to the catwalk. Everything is going to be fine.
It better be. He gives your hand a squeeze before leaving. He may have a calm facade on, but you can feel his pulse is racing even faster than yours. You take a breath and check your pockets to make sure everything is in order. You took something from Karkat before helping him pack up all his stuff earlier. For good luck, you told him. And maybe something more. At the very least, Karkat will be safe. No matter what happens at this trial, Malik is set to break onto the ship and take him, whether you and Tagora make it out with Stelsa and Daria or not. With one final breath, you burst open the doors to the courthouse. All lights are on you.
Do you want to read the final chapter since it's your fic? Also, we might get to the first chapter of the next one.
Oh, there's 2 more chapters.
Oh yeah, that's the epilogue chapter. That's right.
Yeah, you should do
I'll
the
do
narration
the
for this one because I have all the dialogue in this one. Every single piece of dialogue.
Okay.
Except for, I think it's Tagora who says it first.
I forgot there's the epilogue chapter.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it's Tagora who says the first line.
Oh, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, teals and clowns, welcome one and all to the dual trial of Stelsa Seziat and Daria Jonjet. Oh yeah, I'm reading the narration. I'm smart. You burst open the doors to the courthouse. All lights are on you. Your name is Tizius Entic, and this is it. This is your one shot to save everyone you love. You make your way center stage, spotlight following in tow. To your right sits a lone wooden chair with a replica gun leaned against it. To your left, traditional Legis Corpus gallows. Behind you lies a sea of robotic metal discs, each one programmed to release a photorealistic, tangible hologram made of nanobots.
Thank you all for giving me the honor of presenting this historic trial.
You start.
Historic in more way than one. Today I am here to present the trial and execution of 2 unusually traitorous criminals. Please bring out the accused.
2 enormous purple bloods emerge, each with the prisoner in tow. In front is Daria, looking just as haggard as the last time you saw her, if not more. One of her handcuffs seems to envelop her whole hand, set to extra tight so her missing fingers don't allow her to escape. And behind her is Stelsa. Oh God, Stelsa. You knew this was going to be hard. You knew seeing her after a full 6 parodies in prison would be painful. You fight back tears as your mate stares at you from across the court block, glasses broken and lip freshly split, as if the clowns were told they could have one more go at her before her trial. You take a deep breath, remembering your notes. Don't go off script.
Before you stand 2 unusual criminals, Cavern Matriarch Daria Jonjet and Junior Auto Terrorizer Stelsa Seziat. As you all know, they have already been thoroughly convicted guilty, but there was never any harm in reiterating their crimes.
A projector screen lowers down behind you, ready to present the damning evidence to the ground.
Exhibit A. Drone footage from the Empire's raid on the southern Brooding Caverns. The drones uncovered dozens of forbidden texts in the cavern library, as well as an illegal nursery meant to salvage the lives of cullable grubs.
You look away as the body cam footage from Daria's arrest is shown to the audience. You've seen it before, and it doesn't get easier each time you watch. You can hear Wanshi scream in the background as the camera zooms in on Daria, holed up against the nursery soaper pool. She's viciously typing on her palm husk, a message you thought were her last words to you. The drone shoots her clean through the hand holding the palm husk. The video goes out, but you ask Tagora to cut it before you hear Daria's screams of agony.
Logan Anderson says, I want a purple to speak to the court just for the mothers and fuckers of the jury line today said. And Exhibit B. Footage of Stelsa Seziat sneaking into the supply closet where she would steal the drape that confirmed her presence in the ICO prison, soliciting illegal quadrant advice from Jonjet.
This one isn't violent, but it's almost more painful to watch. This was all your fault. If only you'd listened to Stelsa when she said that she was out of her comfort zone and... No, you need to concentrate.
Now, this is more than enough to sentence both trolls to death. If this was a His Honorable Tyranny trial, we'd be long over by now.
The audience laughs, as if on cue. You taste bile.
But we've got something much more interesting for you than watching a monster feast tonight.
You give a short nod, and Tagora triggers a spotlight above the wooden chair. The first purple blood grabs Daria by her shoulders, squeezing dangerously tight, and plops her haphazardly into the chair before making his way off stage. You turn to the audience.
I'm sure you all know the cautionary tale of Poor Mariam, more commonly known as the Dolorosa, a former cavern matriarch who became a fugitive in order to raise a heretical mutant grub into one of the most infamous rebel figures in Alternian history. Like all rebels, she met her inevitable fate, sold into slavery and doomed to die at the hands of the orphaner Dulscar. And tonight, you will all be seeing the Dolorosa's last moments reenacted live.
And that's the cue. Tagora presses a button and unleashes a swarm of nanobots which crisply form into the shape of the famous sailor Orphaner Dulscar. The swarm makes its way over to Daria and places its hands on her shoulder, leaning in close. You try your best not to flinch when Daria does.
An old story told by brand new technology. The nanobot holograms playing the part of the Executioner's Snout are making their debut from the developmental tech colony in Galaxy 413. Once they're available to the public, they have the power to create a tangible army in any image. Which brings me to the second execution of the evening.
You stomp your leg and the rest of the discs behind you sputter to life. Honestly, you'd rather not bother with all this theatricality and just have Tagora press the right buttons, but he insisted that the audience would be more distracted the more dramatic you are. A larger, angrier swarm of nanobots appears behind you, forming into the shape of several dozen mind-controlled lowbloods. You hear the audience gasp and lean in.
I know my fellow legislators know the story of neophyte Red Glare, a young legislator who bit off more than she could chew, but I can bet none of you know her full story. Will the subjugators please bring the second accused to the stand?
You can't look at Stelsa. She knows the plan. She knows what's supposed to happen, but you still can't make eye contact with her, as she's forcefully dragged to the gallows on stage. Instead, you laser focus on Tameen Lash, sitting in the front row next to an enormous purple you assume is to be the jailhouse warden. Her reaction to the next part will make or break the rest of the trial.
Do any of you in the audience know the true reason why Neophyte Red Glare was placed as head of the trial that eventually killed her? Was she assigned the case that had already killed so many Legis Corpus personnel because she was so bright and promising?
You can see Lash cross her arms and squint. If anyone in this courtroom knows what you're talking about, it's her.
No. She might have been a prodigy among the neophytes, but she was put on the Mindfang case for one reason and one reason only. To send a message.
You reach into your front pocket and pull out Karkat's symbol pendant, dropping it dramatically from one finger and letting it gleam in the stage lights. Lash starts to stand up to interrupt, but the warden places an arm across her chest to stop her. Tagora was right. It's all about theatricality. You've caught their attention. You make your way over to Stelsa and unclasp the necklace.
Latula Red Glare Pyrobe. Took all of my energy not to say Teresa there.
Yeah.
But Teresa's not 6 letters. Latula Red Glare Pyrobe was caught with this symbol around her neck. Despite being a loyal member of Legis Corpus, the Empire could not stand for a traitor amongst their ranks, so they eliminated her, thus setting a precedent for every traitorous legislacerator to come.
You hook the chain around Stelsa's neck. You still can't look her in the eye, but you hear her release a tiny sob. She got the letter, Malik assured you. Stelsa knew what was coming for the trial, but that's not stopping this from being probably the most terrifying night of her life.
And now that you've all been caught up on our little history lesson,
you smirk at the audience.
Let's make some history ourselves.
The dual scar hologram grabs the replica rifle and points it directly at Daria's head. The swarm of holograms behind you shuffles toward the front of the stage in the direction of Stelsa on the gallows. The rifle pointed at the back of Daria's skull begins charging. Once it hits full power, anything in its path will be obliterated. You stare Lash down one last time. You raise your gaze to the catwalk to give Tagora a nod. The final cue. In the split second before the rifle hits full charge, the hologram changes course and points it directly at Lash, sending a beam of pure energy into the audience. Half of the clamoring low-blood holograms rush into the crowd, attacking whatever they can get their hands on, while the other half revert into a swarm of nanobots, engulfing the stage in a fog. You rush over to Stelsa and usher her out of the closet door, the closest door, then double back to grab Daria from the haze. The alarms start blaring, and the automatic doors to the court block slam shut only seconds after Daria slips through. Just one more stretch and you're all free. Your lungs are burning so much you can taste blood. The three of you race to the end of the ship where the loading docks are located, hopefully to meet up with Tagora and move on to the next step. You're so lucky Daria can pick a lock one-handed. You didn't have to worry about shuffling two fugitives in shackles across the entire ICO. Tagora catches up with you shortly, looking more haggard than you've seen him in sweeps. No one says a word as you run for your lives, hoping to the ever-loving fuck that Malik actually managed to turn the surveillance cameras off in the whole ship like he said he would. No one is following you yet, as the majority of the ship's personnel are still locked in the courtroom chaos, but you stay on your toes. The four of you round the corner into the loading dock of the ship. You barely have a moment to catch your breath before you notice a rustblood in a hat loading a giant crate into a tiny cargo ship. The same crate you snuck Karkat into this evening.
Step the fuck away from the crate, Earl.
Who is
it's
this?
Malik.
Or you'll what? The rest cuts you off. Damn, Tizius, has it really been so long you forgot what my disguises look like? The rest pulls off his hat, revealing Malik's pierced horns. You breathe a sigh of relief as Malik rushes the four of you into the ship and pulls off the loading bay. You stare out the tiny window in the back of the cargo ship as the ICO gets smaller and smaller. You did it. You're free.
It took you 15 minutes to find the Twitch account? I put the link in the... Wait, does YouTube not let you put links in the chat even if you own the chat?
Oh, I don't know, maybe.
Oh, that sucks. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, the Twitch account is just twitch.tv/my name, Jonaya Riley.
Hope player fight? Wait, who's the Hope player here? Hope player? Daria's a Hope player. Who else is a Hope player?
I don't know.
Oh! Jewel Scar's a Hope player!
Oh, that's right. He's a... Yeah, right, of course.
I forget about the Emporus. Chapter 13. The final chapter.
Final chapter.
You did it, CZ. Your name is Tizia Zentik, and you are currently enveloped in the tightest hug of your life. Your feet nearly lift off the ground as Stelsa wraps her arms around you with the implied promise to never let you go again. You're still in shock. The trial was real, so very real. But even though you escaped mere minutes ago, it almost feels like a fever dream. You actually did that. You put on enough of an imperialist facade to trick the Legis Corpus High Council into giving you the means to escape with everyone.
Just one more push.
Tagora grunts from across the room, attempting to open the big crate where you packed away Karkat and all of his things. Daria, already having opened the opposite side of the crate, sighs and rolls her eyes before giving him a hand. Hurtful that I forgot about Aaron and the Emporus. I mean, I shouldn't forget about the Emporus, seeing as, Trevor is a important side character in Time's Apprentice, and Crow is so obsessed with Cronus, I don't think I can forget about
Crow. Yeah, but Crow
Cronus.
is obsessed with a particular version of Cronus.
That's true. Canon
Isn't
Cronus
canonical.
is kind of shit. Crow's version of Cronus is good.
Crow's version of Cronus is good.
And Crow has the best version of all the ancestors.
Yeah.
Karkat spills out of the crate, laptop clutched in his arms. He takes a moment to adjust to the light before zeroing in on you and Stelsa. Tears well up in the corner of his eyes.
Mama Stelz!
He cries, barreling toward her. You wriggle out of the hug so the two of them can have their long-awaited reunion. It's time for you to have a reunion of your own. Daria's slumped up against the crate, picking at her half hand. You slide down next to her. So, you really did it. You actually managed to get us out of here without anyone dying. Well, someone in that courtroom probably died. If the laser gun was aimed right, then Lash should be dead at the very least. Daria nudges you with her elbow. You know what I mean. She leans against your shoulder, trying to fight back tears. I never thought I'd see you again. After Stelsa showed up in the prison block next to me, I thought it was all over. God. My allergies are real bad tonight. I'm so sorry. Your version of Aridin is the only one. Yes. Honestly, I've always liked Aerosol as a ship. No, not Aerosol. Erikar as a ship. Aridin and Karkat. I feel like they would actually be decent Moirails. Hot take. But I think that Aridin could be fixed by Karkat. Either you were going to escape with Karkat and leave us to die, or we'd all be doomed. But here we are. Here we are, you repeat back. Malik cranes his neck towards you from his spot at the controls.
We should be back on Alternia in less than a day. Hope you guys are ready to start living under the radar.
Erikar are each other's FPS? Why am I blanking on what that...
I don't know.
First person?
Favorite persons.
Shit. Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, it's a VPD term. Okay, cool. I mean, if it'd be anyone, it would have to be KK. It wouldn't act as a link, so I went to Twitch to look. I tried looking for 10 minutes. No! I'm so sorry!
You just gotta go directly to, twitch.tv/Jonaya Riley. The Twitch search sucks.
Google also sucks.
Google is, yeah. Alright.
Malik said the thing. Yeah, about that, Daria adds, where the fuck are you taking us?
We're gonna see my friend Terezi.
Karkat chimes in, running over from where he and Stelsa were cuddling.
And then we're gonna meet Terezi's friend Nepeta, who lives in a cave. Mama Tiz, can we live in a cave?
You can barely get a word in before Karkat notices who's around you. His eyes go wide at Malik.
I know you. You're the phone man Mama Tiz kicks me out of the closet to talk to you.
He turns and points at Daria.
I don't know you.
I had to do that. It was too cute. You chuckle. Karkat has never met so many new people in his life, and he's about to meet so many more. You usher Stelsa over to join you and Daria on the floor. All you want right now is to fall asleep between your mate's Brett and your Moirail and not wake up for a sweep. Oh, use the duck and the... Yep, use the duck and the fox. I'm bad and don't use the duck.
DuckDuckGo had some issues, I believe.
Oh.
I don't remember what they were, but yeah.
But use the fox. Firefox is the superior. I mean, as you can see, I use Firefox. I've used it since I was 12, and I will not
Firefox is very
stop.
good. I just wish they would implement the tab group system that Chrome did, because their tab grouping sucks ass. There's a couple small issues I have with Firefox that are very annoying, but overall it's a very good browser.
Well, it's better. Firefox or TubeFox?
TubeFox.
She wants to be with us.
Oh. Alright.
All you want right now is to fall asleep between your mate's Brit and your Moirail and not wake up for a sweep. It turns out Karkat gets his wish. You will all be living in a cave for the next several sweeps. When the ship lands, you're greeted by a tiny tealblood with the sharpest teeth you can imagine. Karkat comes barreling out of the ship to meet his friend. You're not sure how your son ended up with a best friend who lives in the middle of the forest, but it's definitely convenient for you. Teresi brings the 6 of you through an overgrown path to what looks like the entrance to an abandoned brooding cavern. You see Daria tense up for a moment, but no, this wasn't her cavern. This cave is occupied by an olive blood riding an enormous cat Lucis with 2 gaping maws who you really hope doesn't bite. The olive blood, Nepeta, opens up her home to you. She has only been living in the mouth of the cave, so the rest of the cavern network becomes your new home. After you all settle in, everything falls into place. Soon, Karkat's friend Solix comes into the picture. Somehow, this child, who's only a sweep old, is just as talented as Malik when it comes to technology, if not more so. The two of them work together to set up a cave with power and secure Wi-Fi, and Solix promises Malik to make sure all of you stay off the grid while he's gone. Malik doesn't stay long at all. Barely a perigee, really. Once the 5 of you are settled in, he's off to find the rest of the rebels and rescue them from their ascensions. First comes Palipa. Turns out she was actually on the ICO with you the whole time. She escaped from prison during the chaos of your trial and hid in one of the Helm's blocks for a perigee before Malik picked her up. Nobody noticed her disappearance, though, through the chaos of trying to appoint a new head legislator, since Lash did not, in fact, survive the trial. Next comes Skyla, and with her, the crab Lucis that was meant to take care of Karkat, and an incredibly muscular olive blood guard that Malik decided to trust on a whim. He told you that when he went to sneak Skyla out of her breeding facility, the guard, Connell, practically begged him to take her with them. As for the crab Lucis, Karkat never bonds with him the way a newborn grub would, so your growing family just has this awkward pet hanging around. He's supposed to be important later. Chixie is a tricky one to rescue. She hasn't been appointed to a military position like most trolls are post-ascension. Instead, she's been handpicked as a musical consort for a high-ranking indigo blood, basically condemning her to sing in a cage for the rest of her life. Funny thing is, this wasn't even the first time this had happened. Chixie had been purchased by this same asshole Indigo back on Alternia when your rebel network was first forming. Seems like the creep remembered the flaws in his old security system, so it takes Malik a few perigees to even figure out how to infiltrate the ship. A few sweeps in, Malik brings Branya, alongside another Jadeblood, Lunera, who Daria does not look happy to see. Not in a, I don't trust that you won't turn us into the drones kind of way, more of a, you made my life a living hell for 10 sweeps, and if you take one step towards me, I'm either going to punch you or kiss you or both vibe. Despite literally breaking your quadrant mates out of a high-security prison, you can't fathom how much work went into getting those two out of the cloisters. What Daria told you about what happens to Jays after Ascension is a different level of fucked up. Yes, Zebra. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Zebra,
is bad.
Is the worst. As your circle of fugitive rebels grows, Karkat's circle of friends grows too. Soon after getting settled in, he gets to know Kanaya, the descendant of the Dolorosa. She starts spending quite a bit of time at the cave, and it takes all your energy not to tell a literal child about the horrifying history behind her family. Tagora laughs at you nonstop about this, but he takes over in the conversation whenever he can sense you going into rebel history mode. The two of them become surprisingly close, bonding over a love of fashion and aesthetics. The parent role suits him, almost as much as the weird uncle role does. Let Palipa go zebra hunting. Honestly, she would. Since she does end up with Chixie in
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Tagora parenting. Not all of Karkat's friends are quite as nice to be around, unfortunately. Terezi's Moirael Vriska is, well, she's a bitch. She made Karkat cry more times than you can count, and Stelsa is 2 steps away from straight up banning her from the cave. Another couple of Karkat's acquaintances are a pair of Sea Dwellers who you do not trust. The Violet Blood spews some unbelievably casteist bullshit, and the Fuchsia Blood is literally the heiress to the Empire, attached at the hip to her High-Blood advisor, who will come into play later. Yeah. Those 2 were banned from the cave from the beginning, and they're a constant reminder why Karkat needs to keep his blood color hidden. He doesn't hide it from everyone, though. It's practically impossible, actually, since Terezi ends up developing a bizarre sense of synesthesia which lets her literally sniff out his blood. Some people he tells himself, too. A few sweeps in, Karkat gets a Moirael, a neglected purple blood named Gansey. You don't trust him at first, because who knows what kind of high blood connections he has, but Karkat trusts him with his life. Literally. And of course, there's Nepeta. You quickly discover that Nepeta is the descendant of the Signless Scribe and Quadrant Mate, so it's no wonder the 2 of them get so close so quickly. You were never one for worshipping your own ancestor, since you got stuck with the biggest bootlicker on Alternia. Tenia. But seeing Karkat spend so much time with Nepeta makes you wonder if there really is something going on about ancestor destiny. Before you know it, the day has arrived. Karkat's 6th Wriggling Day. Everything has lined up exactly how the stories predicted, and exactly how your group's mysterious contact said it would. A line of ancient code was uncovered and deciphered into a world-ending game. Karkat and his 11 friends, 1 of each blood caste, set out to play it. All that's left is for Karkat to start the chain of events that will take down the Alternian Empire once and for all. You're sitting on a stone outside the mouth of the cave, listening to the forest one last time, when Stelsa comes out to fetch you. It's almost time. Are you ready to go? It's kind of bittersweet, isn't it? You ask. I've been working for so long to tear this empire down, but we've created this whole life here. I suppose. Stelsa leans her head on you. Though I am looking forward to not being on the run for once. You chuckle. Not as hard as you thought this would be? No, actually. I thought I'd feel like I was abandoning my whole life. Like everything I worked for and everyone I care about burn up in a moment. But everything I had worked for was willing to kill me over nothing. And everyone I care about is still right here. You grab Stelsa's hand, and the 2 of you make your way into the belly of the cave, where all your friends and allies are standing, lined up. The 2 of you squeeze between Daria and Tagora and listen closely as Karkat fulfills his destiny as leader of the revolution.
Okay, guys, so we don't know what it's gonna be like in the Sylladex. We know it's not gonna kill you. I've put the crab guy in there enough times to know that.
Karkat never did get used to calling the Lucis Crab Dad. He paces back and forth in front of you all, even more nervous about this than anyone.
I don't know if it's gonna feel like you're dead, or if you're gonna feel every cramped-ass moment of being shoved in that car, but at least try to get comfortable. Make sure you don't fucking load the person next to you.
You look to both sides, Daria on your right and Stelsa on your left. It's been 6 sweeps since Karkat's life was placed in your hands, and now it's time for you to place all your lives in his. You all take a deep breath before Karkat tucks his family away in a pocket of the universe, and everything goes dark. You don't know if you'll wake up in the game or in the new world, but the next time you open your eyes, the brighter future you've been fighting for will finally be in your hands.
And that's the end of that one.
The progeny is done.
The progeny is done.
So, before you wrote the antecedent and the lineage, I was actually intending the last chapter for them to all wake up, and Homestuck happened. All of Homestuck happened, and Karkat's like, hi, moms, surprise, I have a boyfriend, and Dave's right there, and then they're just so proud of their son with his boyfriend.
A lot of stuff changed because I wrote the sequels, I guess.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Linera was never going to come. Connell was never going to come.
Yeah.
Skyla was. Branya was. I'm pretty sure Polipa was.
Also, the events of the game are, wildly different than they probably would have been. Because, they got released in the game.
I wasn't expecting Tizius or Tagora to God tier.
Yeah.
Did any others God tier? Didn't
Branya did not God tier. I don't remember.
Stelsa didn't. I know
Stelsa did not. I have a list of people that did and didn't. Polipa never
yes,
did.
I did capture log people. That was the only way I could think of them getting in the game without having the Guardian curse, where the Guardians are cursed to die.
Right, exactly. Do you want to start reading the next one? Want to do, the first chapter of the antecedent?
Let's start reading the first chapter of the antecedent, just to get started.
Yeah. Because it's got a very, drag you in first chapter.
And then that'll get you all wanting to come back for next time.
Also, I'm going to read the summary to this because, 20 years have passed. It's been a long time. And Earth is very... You'll get, like, the timeline of Earth, but basically, like, this is an Earth where the Alternians and everyone, like, kind of, like, insert themselves in the 1500s.
Yeah.
On an Earth populated by the descendants of Alternian trolls and humans alike, and watched over by the survivors of the Alternian successful scrub session, the citizens of Fefri Paishi's benevolent empire live in a state of peace and prosperity. As the head of the Imperial Regulatory Bureau's Threat Analysis Division, Agent Tizius Entic is responsible for helping to maintain that peace against vaguely defined cosmic threats, while struggling to continue to adhere to her revolutionary ideals. In the heart of New Amsterdam City, Tizius begins to realize that the existential threat they all feared is coming, and no one has any idea how to stop it. Also, like, they're immortal.
Yeah.
But also, like, they're like hundreds of years. Some of them are hundreds of years old, depending on who they are.
Wait, who is hundreds of years? No one gets that.
I don't know if anyone we actually talked to is. Like, because Gamzee was, but Gamzee died.
Dead.
Gamzee's dead. Gamzee
he,
died
in the war.
Yeah, Gamzee died a long time ago.
Is Equius alive?
We never talk about Equius, so maybe.
Is was it Gamzee and Tavros or Gamzee and Equius?
It was Gamtav.
Is Tavros alive?
Tavros, I don't remember. I don't remember what was mentioned, because it was Gamzee and Karkat were Moirels, but, like, I think Tavros was involved. I don't know, we'll read it.
We'll find out. Well, Gamzee went to Earth, that's all we know.
Yeah, and helped, like, set up a, like, revolution shit, yeah.
Gamzee went to Earth and spread communism.
This is like Gamzee if Gamzee wasn't, like, horrifically abused all of the time, so he's, like, doesn't go crazy and kill a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Like,
he was neglected, but also he had Karkat's family to hang out with, so he got, like, some mom.
The whole thing is, like, Scratch's plan is still kind of, like, operating as intended, but, like, the details are a little different, and you'll see.
So, like, this is a timeline where, you know, a couple shits got fucked, and Scratch wasn't able to get everything in Homestuck set up like it's supposed to be in Homestuck.
Yeah.
So, he was like, oh shit, well, I better contact these rebels, and they better parent this Karkat, because this Karkat's necessary for me. And, he didn't realize how many close bonds were going to be formed.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't believe in love.
Chapter 1, Tenebrous Equilibrium. Imperial Regulatory Bureau, New Amsterdam Field Office. Also, New Amsterdam City is New York City. English colonization didn't happen exactly the same way.
Has the fire been stoked? You've got to be kidding me. We're doing this again, huh? Well, you fucking know we are. Come on, Tiz, say the line. No. Come on, for your Moirail. How else will I know it's really you? This is stupid. Ugh, fine. The flames are getting larger as we speak. See, how a lot hard was that? Now tell me, how's sunny New Amsterdam this fine morning? Well, it's March, so it's cold as shit, and I knocked a cup of slush out of my shoes this morning. How's things out west? Hotter than a teal's ass? Very funny. Why'd you actually DM me? Daria? What the fuck? Sorry, not sure how to put this one. Talking usually works for me. You know that thing you asked me to check out? The shit you found online? What? That bullshit? Honestly, I just wanted to give you a little vacation on IRB credit. You don't have to even worry about it. I think it's real. Funny. I'm serious. I talked to the seller down here, flashed the ID you made for me, and left my real name out of it. He got nervous and said he shipped the thing up to NAC.
NAC. It's New Amsterdam City.
Oh. Instead of NYC.
Yeah.
Ah! Cute. To NAC. This is a bad joke, right? I'm gonna DM you the buyer info now.
Tizius Entic quickly clicked open the file. This whole joke was so far out of hand at this point that she was beginning to wonder if this was Daria's offhand, strange way of telling her that she'd swung pitch lately. Not completely outside the realm of possibility. 10 years on an unfamiliar planet was a long time. Maybe the Jade Blood was getting... 10 years. They've been
okay,
10 years. Yeah.
I thought they were, like, in their 40s. I guess they're in their 30s?
I mean, they are. They're in their 30s.
Yeah.
Maybe the Jade Blood was getting... Because there's also the time they spent getting ready, so...
Right,
It's been 20 years since the end of, like, the main events of the Progeny.
Right. Yeah, because the five
Because they have the... Yeah, exactly. Maybe the Jade Blood was getting bored being Moirails, and then that was a conversation she'd have to have eventually. Not one she was looking forward to, but... Her thoughts stopped dead as she scanned over the document.
This isn't possible.
She was already standing up and grabbing her coat from the rack near the office door. The office door that had a simple placard on the other side that read Tizzy Sentic, agent in charge, and pulling her phone out from the pocket, typing a quick message to Daria, telling her to get back to the city as soon as she could. The Bureau would cover the flight back, and don't worry about it. All the while, she could feel her heart racing faster and faster.
The MILFs who destroyed the world. That's basically right. Yeah.
Out into the office. Tisius leaned up against the wall and shrugged the coat over her shoulders, arms through the sleeves, loosely gathered the whole thing around her and pulled it out to straighten it. Daria was saying something on the phone, but she didn't have time to read it. Instead, Tisius opened the contact list and thumbed down until she saw the one she wanted.
Dial the number. Wait for him to pick up. Don't panic.
She started walking down the hall, even while she was waiting for the phone to finish ringing. Down to the end of the hallway, to the elevator, pressed the button. Ring, ring.
Pick up the fucking phone.
It went to voicemail, and Titius swore under her breath as she anxiously tapped the button on the elevator. She knew that he was in his midtown office. He had a pretty predictable schedule during the week, and she knew that he was playing at. Normally it would be a problem. Normally it'd be a little bit fun, even. But right now, this was the last thing she wanted to deal with. Even as the elevator arrived and she stepped on, Tisius was trying the contact again, still ignoring the increasingly urgent messages from her Moirail that kept pinging the phone.
Wait, who's the fourth lesser-known MILF? Wait, we got Tisius, we got the
Daria?
is not the... Are you counting Tagora as a MILF?
Tagora? I don't know.
Mal?
Philippa's, they're all kind of the same age.
Philippa's not a mom, though.
No, whatever.
I think Tagora's the MILF.
Tagora's the MILF.
I mean, you do voice Tagora, and you are a MILF.
Tagora, yeah.
Why won't you pick up? This isn't the fucking time, I swear to the signless.
The elevator reached the ground floor, and Tisius stepped out into the long corridor that led in two directions. Right to the exit, left over to operations. She took the left path, walking faster and faster as she got his voicemail yet again. This time, she left a message.
Gorjek, if you don't fucking call back, I'll have a strike team raid your fucking office.
One of the field agents assigned to her floor passed with a half-hearted greeting that Tisius ignored. The world had gotten too small for her to worry about pleasantries right then.
Malik, I'd like to fuck.
Had shrunk down to the size of a single bill of sale, a single phone call, and a single trip to the operations center. She turned the corner and walked down 3 doors, stopped, and swiped her ID at the last one. The room on the other side was unassuming, given what it actually was. A plain room with a caged-off counter on one side. Behind the counter, a heavy-set young human sat and read from a battered paperback. As soon as Tisius walked into the room, he set the book down and the look of concern spread over his face. "Ma'am, can I help you? Is everything okay?" The young man's voice cracked, and Tisius realized that he probably wasn't a day over 21, just a new hire working to earn his place in the IRB. It softened her focused resolve a little, and when she answered, she made a concerted effort to keep the edge out of her voice.
I need to check out a pistol, Agent.
She walked up and handed over her ID, passing it through the opening at the bottom of the cage section of the counter. The agent took it without asking more questions and began to type the information to the nearby computer terminal. "Everything okay, ma'am?" The worry that Tisius was trying so hard to keep out of her own voice was in the young man's every word, and she was convinced that she'd accidentally let something major slip. She guessed it wasn't every day that the woman in charge of the Bureau's most vaguely defined division showed up in a rush to check out a firearm. "Is something wrong?" She shook her head and forced a smile.
Don't worry about it, Agent. Just working a lead, time sensitive.
The pistol?" he asked as he continued to type information in. "You thinking you'll run into trouble?"
Just a precaution.
She made a mental note to work on how she presented herself to her subordinates. Still something she was getting used to. Had been getting used to ever since her benevolence had offered her a job as the favor to her son. The man behind the counter nodded and grinned. "Sure thing, ma'am. You know you don't have to keep checking these in and out. You can keep your assigned firearm as long as you want." A quick pang of guilt hit her. The memory of all the times she'd heard the sharp crack of gunfire back on Alternia.
It's fine, Agent. Just a precaution, like I said.
That seemed to be enough, because the young man nodded again, bent over his computer to finish typing in her information. Once he was finished, he slid Tisius' ID badge back over to her and got up to walk to the back of the armory. While he was doing that, Tisius went to quickly type an "I'm fine" response to Daria and dialed Tagora Gorjek's number once more. Fortunately, this time the phone only rang twice before she heard a chime and the ringer cut off abruptly.
What is it? I'm busy right now. A familiar nasal voice answered the phone, followed by a sniffle. If you had that hard of a time not thinking about me. Tizius grit her teeth and narrowed her eyes, a gesture for no one now with agent whoever he was in the back getting her pistol, but it didn't matter.
Sorgor, this is not the fucking time for this.
Oh. He sounded a little bit annoyed and a little bit intrigued. Be honest, is this a thing, or is it a thing? A little laugh on the other end that made her want to actually genuinely throttle him.
This isn't a pitch call, Gorjek. I need you to actually listen.
She was trying so hard to keep the raw edge off her voice, but it wasn't succeeding. On the other end of the line, Tagore went quiet. When he spoke again, his voice was tempered and less playful. Fine. What is it, Tizzy? Or do I call you Agent N-Tip for this one? He sighed and seemed to think better of this. Sorry, that wasn't fair. What is it, Tizius?
I need to know if you still have contacts in the curio shops downtown, specifically Alternian cultural artifacts.
As she waited for Tagore to respond, Tizius nervously shifted the phone from one ear to the other. He was being too quiet for too long, and it was driving her anxiety up the fucking wall.
Did you hear me, Tagore? This is kind of a time-sensitive thing.
Now, you know that my client information is privileged. I respect your position as I'm trying to think of a nice way to say government stooge. She didn't have the time for this, for whatever Tagore was trying to do. This time, Tizius snapped into the phone.
Listen, you bulge-sucking little shit. I need you to check in with a fucking broker and see if they got something in stock.
A sharp intake of breath and an exasperated sigh on the phone. I thought you said this wasn't a pitch call.
It's fucking not. I got a chip that I need to check, and I need your help to make sure it's not a dead end.
Fine, Tagore said in a way that seemed to imply, but I'm absolutely talking to Celsa about this later. Fine, if he wanted to vent to his Moirail about her mate Sprit's rude behavior on the phone, so be it. Worse things than hurt feelings were at stake here, and she could make it up to him later.
Send me... Oh, wait, no.
Send me whatever information you have, and give me 10 minutes to check in with them. I'll call you back.
Fine.
She paused and took a deep breath.
Look, Sorgor, I'm sorry, okay?
Save it, Tizzy. We're not made Sprats. He ended the sentence with a short laugh and clicked his tongue twice. 10 minutes and I'll call. The phone went dead. Tizius looked up and saw that the agent had returned with a compact black pistol, 2 magazines, and a holster. He'd been waiting for her to finish her phone call with a worried expression. Are you sure everything is okay, ma'am? I can call tactical if you need. She shook her head and reached out to take the weapon. Magazine in the pistol, load the chamber, put on the safety. Holster inside her waistband, pistol in the holster, coat over everything. She hated carrying a weapon to begin with. She wasn't about to go around with it hanging out for the world to see.
The most consistent piece of friend sim world building that we have, or specifically you have done. Tizius fucking
doesn't
hates
like guns. Yeah.
The fact that they recreated the monarchy is kind of funny to me. Yeah, they kind of did.
They kind of did, and like it will definitely 100% come back to bite everyone in the ass over the next 2 books.
It's fine. I already said.
That was all. That was it. All that she said to the agent before she turned and walked out of the armory and retraced her path back towards the exit. It was hard to stop the thoughts, no matter how hard she tried. No matter how much she worked to force the vague senses down. Everything that she'd honed during their session, and then in the last decade on this strange new planet. This wasn't the first time she'd gotten a tip like this one, but something about this felt different. Maybe it was just paranoia, or maybe it was the last latent bit of those strange abilities she'd once had access to. At the end of the long hallway, an olive blood holding an assault carbine nodded as Tizius passed by. She just barely noticed it enough to nod back, turning toward the exit of the building that loomed up above the government district of New Amsterdam's downtown. If the address that was on the invoice was correct, it would be faster to walk than try to fight through downtown traffic at this time of day. It was obviously a hoax, like they always were. Another jackass with access to a printer knew a few tricks about how to make the cardboard of the box look older than it really was. That was most of her job, and it never felt urgent, so why all of a sudden did it feel so urgent now? The little stabbing feeling was there in the back of her mind, keeping her focused and telling her that she couldn't afford to ignore this, not this time. That one line on an invoice from a pawn shop in the Southwestern Territory. 1. Copy of unknown software media, box labeled Scrub, the home experience. Tizius pushed through the door of the IRB's downtown office and walked out into the morning sunlight, tucking her coat in closely against the cold.
And I think we should stop there, because my voice is going.
Yeah, same.
And Theseus is Columbo? No! Have you considered? Yes. I don't even fucking know what Columbo is.
It's the fucking detective show from, like, the 80s or whatever.
Yeah, I know it's something old people watch.
Yeah.
They refuse to because I'm colonized.
Yeah, they recreated this is like the practical demonstration of no, I don't think it's possible to whatever the fuck do an empire like the nice empire quote from the comic.
Oh yeah. No, do a genocide.
Do a genocide.
No, I don't think it's possible to quote unquote do a genocide unquote quote as a joke, unquote.
No, the actual one is like something about an empire, though.
No,
isn't
it was a genocide.
Oh, that was the original
Yeah.
quote? Okay.
I read that comic a lot because it was one of the few ancestor paradox spaces.
But it's the whole, like, you can't do an empire as, like, a good system. Like, because they have, like, you'll find out about this as you read the books, but, like, they basically had people that arrived on Earth at different points in time. So some of them arrived, like, hundreds of years ago, and some of them arrived, like, pretty recently. And
Gamzee did a whole revolution.
And, like, set up, like, a anarchist society in Europe.
But then Feferi comes down and then immediately is like, I'm starting an empire.
Right, but it's like, but I'll be nice. Like, it's like
I'm imperial benevolence.
It's like a beforist type thing. And, like, leverages the fact that she's, like, one of the people that created the world to like, make that happen.
And it doesn't help that she has a, advisor.
Yeah.
Credea.
Yeah, Credea, who she snuck into the session without anyone else knowing.
She saw Karkat putting his whole family in his Silodex, and detective who doesn't carry a gun is always disheveled and unraveling rich people's murder.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's just Not using guns is a good thing. Don't use guns, kid. Unless, like, you know, you need it to shoot your dinner or whatever. That's cool. But, like, maybe you don't need an assault rifle. Most people, no one needs an assault rifle.
Yeah, so things are very different. Like, also that there's, like, little hints of this. And
you thought that they meant Columbus. Yeah,
no, Columbo.
No.
The detective on the show, not the genocider.
Yeah, no. Theseus cannot do a genocide as a joke. She's not allowed to.
Also, like, there's hints that indicate that, like, the way that colonization played out in this version of Earth is different. Like, there's territories that, like, still belong to the indigenous people.
Yeah.
Like, some of it is still kind of fucked, but, like, parts of New York still, like, belong to the indigenous people that live there.
The Dutch did their colonizing around Manhattan.
Yeah.
And, made New Amsterdam City, and then Gamzee came around and was like, no more colonizing.
There's, like, a blend of, like, some level of European influence, plus, like, the Alternian influence, which is a whole new thing, plus, like, the existing indigenous people were not, like, genocided like they were in our history.
Where do the indigenous populations come in the? I forget.
They're just like the territories. They're not like characters.
Oh right, you named.
Yeah, like the Montauk and everything.
The fucking airfield after some
Narragansett Field. Yeah, so like the territories and like the southwestern territories are supposed to, like, those are places that are still, like, governed by indigenous people.
Which is really fucking good, and I wish we lived in this world.
Yeah.
Even if Feferi is the empire of New York
Feferi's,
City.
like, I mean, like, good energy, but, like, she opens things up to, like, a ton of corruption and, like, fucked up shit. Mm-hmm. You know, like in real life.
So, like, wait, who is she? Like, is she the Empress of America or of the entire world?
She's the Empress of, like, there is, like, that particular empire. Like, I don't know territorially what it covers, but, like, it covers a lot of areas. Because she's got the reputation of being, like, she's like a god. Like, her relationship to everything is kind of weird because she did sort of, like, create the world or help create the world. And, like, some people, like Tizius, really, like, downplayed their role in that. Pfeffery's like, yes, I helped create the world. Let me make it good.
Yeah, that's very Pfeffery.
Yeah, I'll do Empire good.
I can totally do it. I can't do a Pfeffery voice. Okay, who's voicing Pfeffery?
You're voicing Pfeffery.
God damn it. This is what happens when you have an alto and a tenor in the same room. We're fucked. Who's doing
and
Nepeta?
there's you're doing Nepeta. And there's I'm doing Carcat. There's a lot more characters in this too.
Oh, there's so many
like,
characters
a lot
in this.
more characters.
Well, I'm doing Vriska. I refuse to not do Vriska.
Of course you're doing Vriska.
She's mine. I own her.
And also, like, you'll get to find out some of what happened during the game session, because there's, like, flashbacks that show that, so you will actually get to find out some of what happened.
Christopher Columbus was a cheesemaker before becoming evil. Why doesn't he just stick with the cheese? Imagine the timeline where Christopher Columbus
stayed in his lane and made fucking cheese instead
Why
of
wasn't he happy
going
just
to fucking
cheese?
murder and rape people.
Like, he was evil evil for the conquistadors.
Right, like he was like
they all
particularly
thought he was evil. They were like, why the fuck are you torturing these people like this?
The group of people that was like the fucking did the Spanish Inquisition were like, hey, you know, that's a bit much.
Yeah. Cheese should have. Imagine a timeline where cheese was like gold. Columbus wouldn't have colonized.
They threw him in
America.
jail. Oh, damn.
He belonged in jail. He should have stayed there.
What happened to TZ? You'll find out. She's still around.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, she's important.
She's real important.
She will. She's gonna go crazy.
Yeah. You'll see. Yeah, a couple people died during the session, but they're not, like, major big characters that you've had a lot of screen time with. Like, Linnea dies during the session. I think that... Is she the only one that dies during the session?
I think she's the only one of the adults who dies.
Of the adults, right.
Does Aridin die? Aridin dies.
Aridin dies
right?
during
Kanaya
the session, yeah.
kills
That's
her?
important, yeah. The Aridin and Kanaya, that's important. Because that happens differently than it does in Homestuck.
Columbus wanted money. That's stupid. Money
Yeah.
does evil things to... I mean, he was already evil if he thought it was okay to do that. But,
yeah, seriously.
Money makes people more evil. Aridin always dies, yes.
Yeah.
Did anyone else die? I know Gamzee dies.
Gamzee dies on Earth.
Yeah.
Like, he and then dies after a while. Like, he does, like, a bunch of shit for, like, hundreds of years and then dies.
he's,
Like, he
killed.
dies after a while. That's not...
Cheese used to be like gold in the ancient world. Good.
Damn.
Honestly, if I could pay my rent with a hunk of Parmesan, that would be a good day. Parmesan.
So yeah, Gamzee dies before the story starts, but, like, not during the session. Aridin dies during the session. That's important for backstory. Linnea dies during the session. That's, like, not particularly important to anything. That's kind of like... Because Branya's, like, a secondary character. They're not major characters.
Does... Tavros dies, right? There's no Tavros in this.
Yeah, there's no Tavros, but I don't remember the specifics. I don't remember if I mentioned the specifics for that.
I know Aradia and Solix are alive because they're important
they're
in the
very important in the
lineage.
Sequel. Yeah, in the lineage.
Nepeta is obviously
Nepeta
alive.
is- yeah,
Karkat is
Nepeta's-
obviously alive.
Yeah.
Kanaya is alive
Kanaya
and
is
has
alive.
become a girl boss and partners
Yes.
with Tagora, like not legal partners. What's
They're a private investigation firm / like borderline like private military contractor company. they're like a private investigator firm by way of the Pinkertons if they didn't just do strike busting, I guess. Like if they were less like unethical. Because they have, like, guns and shit.
Cat girls are immortal. Yes, cat girls are immortal.
Yes.
Nepeta cannot die. Like, literally. Nepeta doesn't die.
They can't die of age anyway, and, like, disease
And no
stuff.
one can kill Nepeta.
Yes.
Because she is Nepeta.
You'll find out.
Vriska is an interesting case. You'll find out about Vriska.
You'll see Vriska later.
What happens to Aqueous?
I don't really
You
mention
just didn't care enough
Acquiesce,
about
I don't
Acquiesce
give a
to-
shit about Acquiesce, but like, yeah, sure. Maybe he came with Gamzee or something. I don't fucking know. I feel like I thought about this at one point.
I think
but...
Acquiesce did, because didn't
Oh,
have a
yeah, he
tearful,
might have.
because Gamzee and Acquiesce needed to repent for their high blood sins or something.
Yeah. Well, Acquiesce more than Gamzee, because Gamzee, like, in this iteration of things, didn't like.
He was like pretty chill.
He was, yeah, because he had like emotional
He had
support
parents
and shit.
to. Well, he had a friend's parents to take care of.
He
him.
had like support and wasn't just like driven insane by Scratch.
And yeah, Fairy is important. Aridin is dead.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the state of everybody's survival.
Yeah.
Post Ascension. Also, Karkat does Karkat drag Tisius to the quest bed, or does Tisius drag Karkat? They both die on the quest bed.
I don't remember, but you do get to read about that.
Sleepover at Karkat's, yeah. Basically. Honestly, everyone has sleepovers at Karkat's except for the High Bloods. I bet Acquiesce was banned from the cave. No, Acquiesce can't be banned from the cave because Nepeta was it was Nepeta's cave.
Yeah, exactly.
So only the Sea Dwellers were banned from the cave. Everyone else had sleepover at Karkat's. Even Vriska was able to go to the cave.
Yeah.
I gotta eat dinner, so we should probably.
Yeah, we
wrap
should
this
go.
up.
You'll find out. I was
Yeah.
gonna say like Hive Swap people. There's a bunch of survivors. You'll see them.
I mean, you saw them all at the end of the Progeny.
You're gonna meet Palipa in next chapter. I think it is from her point of view.
How about Acquiesce just stays in northern Norway and nobody knows?
Yeah, right. It's just like a fucking cryptid, like living like a fucking Bigfoot in the wilderness.
And that's how Nepeta becomes a like wilderness explorer.
Oh my god.
She just goes to find Acquiesce. Because yeah, that's what Nepeta does in her free time. She just fucking vibes in the wild.
Yeah.
Because it's Nepeta. Does she like have a TV show about it? She should.
I don't remember. I've forgotten like large details about my own work because it's been a year since I wrote the story, so.
Nepeta is the New Earth version of what's his name, the crocodile hunter.
Oh,
Steve Irwin. But she doesn't get killed by a stingray because she's invincible. Acquiesce is the Jersey Devil.
Oh God!
Oh no, he's in Jersey.
I don't remember what I call New Jersey in this. I think it is mentioned, but it's not called New Jersey.
Those memes that are like, oh, of course this would happen in New
Jersey. You're like, New Amsterdam City is New York, and like geographically it does like match up. Like some of the stuff is different because things develop differently, but like the general layout is the same, and like the stuff they do on Long Island and like some of the
NYU is different.
Yes, NYU's that weirdly becomes relevant.
Later on, Karkat has like a vision of the actual Homestuck timeline.
Yeah.
And he's chilling in the NYU library with Dave. And I don't know if any of you have ever seen the NYU library, but it's like real tall, and there are all these like there's these like metal grates to keep you from falling off the edge, but Dave is
I'm
talking
pretty
about
sure those weren't always there. I
They're
could
there
have
on me.
sworn they weren't there when I was a student there.
Well, Dave it talks about throwing a pigeon off of the NYU library. And
like
what
are those exchanges that just like comes to you but it makes sense for the character?
It is the most Dave thing you've ever written. You'll see it when we get to the lineage.
Yeah, that one's later on.
But yeah, that's the only kid that ever exists. So you don't expect to see the kids.
Yeah, the kids don't exist in this timeline because this is like the outcome of the like. Without spoiling too much of the story we're about to read, this is basically like if the scrub part of the cycle happened, but the second part with the kids hasn't happened yet. Because Scratch's plans got kind of like sidetracked.
Jack Noir didn't happen.
Yeah, so like something has to be done to like continue the plot, which you might be getting a sense of from that last bit in the chapter.
All right. So thank you all so much for watching.
Yeah.
T-Man, thank you so fucking much.
That's fucking amazing.
My mind is fucking reeling. You will be getting that chapter. Wait. Shall we give a tiny little preview? No,
no,
let's not.
We
Let's
shouldn't
not.
do that.
We need to be on. I'm gonna get ice cream and write that special fic. Motivation at last. Yay! Yeah, we shouldn't do that on a public YouTube. We will do this on the 18+ Twitch.
Yeah.
If you want to keep updated for that, it's twitch.tv/Jonaya Riley.
And we'll, like, put it on Twitter, maybe?
I guess. Yeah.
Because it's, like, the stream is 18+, so, like, yeah.
So if you're not following me on Twitter, my Twitter is in the description below. Also, if you want to keep tabs on it and you're not part of my Discord, you should join my Discord. It's a pretty quiet server. Not many people talk in it. So if you don't like big overwhelming servers, it's not overwhelming. But if you like, people who like to talk about Homestuck, you got the people there. And we will be promoting it in my Discord server.
Yeah, not in the Studio June server for those of you who are in there.
Because, there's kids in there, and
no
we're not...
NSFW. Yeah, no NSFW.
The kids in the Studio June server don't need to know how Tisgora BDSM happens.
Oh my god. So yeah,
my Discord server is in the links below. You guys should check that out. But thank you all so much for watching. Is there anything you want to promo?
follow me on Twitter. It's @Jonaya Riley.
Watch my latest YouTube video. It's an incorrect quote dove using quotes from incorrect Hivesock quotes on Tumblr.
Mm-hmm.
And I made Jonaya do Tagora falling down the stairs.
Yeah,
I almost said I made Tagora do Jonaya falling down the stairs.
But Jonaya would very much like to not fall down the stairs, especially right now.
Yeah, that would hurt your pussy. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you all next time.
Bye.